Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final night of finals here at the Edinburgh International Swim Meet, incorporating the British Swimming Championships 2018. We've had an incredible weekend of action, both competitions, of course. We've had the international athletes that have joined us for the Edinburgh International and the British Swimming Championships, of course, incorporated into that. Becky Adlington's been with me the entire weekend. Becky, it's been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a great few days. It was amazing to see some of the junior performances, and obviously we've had some incredible swims by our international swimmers as well. I mean, to have Maria Belmonte here, she's got 4 Olympic medals, so to have her competing in that field as well, I'm sure it's given some of these juniors something to inspire to and just kind of take note of as well.
Yeah, it's nice for them to be able to get in the pool and swim with someone of that caliber and on a stage like this as well. Now, for those who have just joined us tonight, we do have 2 competitions that have been happening over the weekend. Like I said, the Edinburgh International is our international athletes that are competing, and they're swimming for prize money. And then, of course, the British Championships, where our British athletes will be crowned British champion, or hopefully. So, Becky, tonight, no different, final night. Who should we watch out for?
Surprisingly, we're seeing Duncan Scott in the 100 metres butterfly, not the 200 metres freestyle, but it'll be interesting to see what Duncan's got. Alice Thomas as well, going in the 200 metres butterfly. And then, of course, the main man himself, Adam Peaty. I just can't wait to see what he's got, because he's also got the skins event at the 50 metres breaststroke. So see how much endurance he's got under his belt.
It should be a fun one to watch. I know everyone's excited to see that race, and of course, many more. Now, Adam did win the 100 metres last night, and I caught up with him on the podium. We've got a little video for you, so let's take a look.
From Adam.
Congratulations, Adam. One in front of a British crowd before you head out to the Gold Coast. Must be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, preparation's going well now, so yeah, we'll see what I've got at Commonwealths, but, you know, it's all about racing tonight, obviously racing these guys, you know, getting very, very fast, so see how many medals we can get as a whole Britain, really, in Commonwealths.
Absolutely. I mean, you've had success at sort of every level. Do you still get nervous before you come out to race?
A little bit, you know, obviously when you get guys on your toes, it's a little bit harder, but, you know, it doesn't change. You know, a race is a race for me. It's been the same since I was a 14-year-old kid. So, you know, any 14-year-old kids out there racing, you know, just go for it, honestly. And, you know, I do exactly the same thing I was doing back then. Just go, give you everything you've got, and, you know, when you get out of the water, leave nothing behind. And that counts in heats and finals. You know, I take it easy in the heats guy. I go in the heats and then go in the finals again, because I truly believe once you get to Olympics, you can't afford to go easy in the heats. You know, you will just be beaten out of the race. So, yeah, it's all about mental toughness and, yeah, being fastest.
Look, great advice there for some young swimmers. Look, congratulations, British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Adam Peaty! So there you have it. A lot of people very excited to see him back in the pool tonight. I know I certainly am. Another guy that's going to be back in the pool tonight has had an incredible weekend so far. Jay Lelliot, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. So you won the 800, you won the 400, and now you're back in the pool tonight for the 200.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good laugh. Like, 200 freestyle is not my main one. It's just more of a splash and dash for me. Like, just see what I've got in there, see what I've got in the tank.
I know, we were just sort of saying it's nice for you to finish on that one as well, not to have the big one at the end, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, might not have done it if it was like at the start of the meet, but yeah, it's always a nice one to finish with.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. Over the last year, though, sort of halfway through last year, you changed clubs, a lot of changes to the program. Talk us through that. Why that?
I just felt like I needed a change. Like, I've been in the same place for a few years, and it kind of just got to the point where I was like, not too sure of what to carry on anymore, and it was either maybe give up or move and do something along those lines. So I felt like I needed to give something another go, and I'm really happy I made the move. I'm really enjoying it there. Well,
it's certainly paying off. We're seeing it in the pool tonight. It's a very big year this year, of course. The European juniors and Europeans later on in the year. Is that an aim for you? Is that what you're striving for this year?
What, European Championships?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of my aims, yeah. Giving it my best effort in this competition, and yeah, just got to see what happens from this, I guess.
You see what happens. Now, the 200 tonight, it should be, I mean, we've looked at the start list tonight, it should be an incredibly tight race. There's some really big names in that. How does it feel when you get in the pool and you're swimming against people like that who have had such a sort of profile on the international stage?
If I'm honest, I'm quite excited for it. Like, it's my last event, like, I'm just going to put everything I've got in the tank left now just to go for it and just see what I've got. Like, it's going to be really great stepping up against all these great guys. I mean, yeah, just looking forward to it.
I mean, it's the last day of the competition, obviously, this weekend. You got any plans to celebrate when you leave here?
I'll probably take a week off and celebrate a little bit, yeah, and we'll see where we go from there.
We'll see. Hopefully get home, get out of the snow.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, look, good luck for your race. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be seeing you later on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Lelliott. Now, from one very talented youngster into a man who is helping develop these squad members, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Tim Jones, Head of Elite Development for British Swimming. Welcome.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah. It's been a long weekend. Look, thanks for joining us. Very important job for you. Obviously, a strong junior squad means strong seniors. How's that program going? Where are we at?
Yeah, so we take the view with our junior teams that what we're looking for is to find and identify some talent that are going to be really successful for us on the senior team. So if we look into the recent past, then we've got people like Duncan Scott. So Duncan came through the junior program. He swam at things like European Junior Championships. He was very successful. In more recent years, we've had Freya Anderson. So it's really trying to find a team that we can develop, but also transition quite successfully to be some really quality senior athletes for our senior team.
Because that transition can be quite difficult, you know, from junior to senior. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, some athletes, you know, they make that transition very, very quickly. I guess if you look across some of the events, there are some holes in the senior part of the program. So it's easier for juniors to slot into those event holes quite quickly. But, you know, everybody's age and stage of development happens at a different rate. You know, so with some athletes it happens quickly. Other athletes, we just have to be a bit more patient.
Of course. And, you know, you've obviously had your eye on some of these athletes in the pool this weekend. Are you happy with what you're seeing?
Yeah, we've had a good meet. Yeah. You know, this set of trials is probably 5 or 6 weeks earlier than we would normally have. So that's probably had a small part to play in some of the racing. But we've got some exciting talent. We've got some athletes that, you know, not only make the junior criteria, but have already been selected for the Commonwealth Games. And we'll have some of our juniors that will also go probably onto the European Senior Championships in Glasgow as well. So, you know, so we're already finding some athletes that can make that transition quite quickly.
Which is really nice to see and exciting for British swimming, certainly.
Absolutely.
And you just mentioned the Europeans. The selection process is sort of going on now. Talk us through that. How's that going?
Yeah, so we have up to 30 places that we can take to Helsinki, which is at the start of July. And that's going to be a mix of people that make times at this meet. And we've always have some flexibility to provide some discretionary places. You know, so we'll top up with the people that make the cut times, with people that we think can add some value to the team.
Well, I'm certainly excited to see that list when it's posted. Look, thank you so much for joining us. Now, for you back home as well, we are just moments away from getting this racing underway, so do get comfy, and don't forget, you can join the chat online. The hashtag for the entire event is hashtag EISM18. Hashtag EISM18. We'd love to hear from you. So get comfy, because you're in for a whole night of fun.
Thanks, John. For the final time, here we go with the Edinburgh International, including the British Championships at the Royal Commonwealth Pool in the heart of Edinburgh. And this is what we have for you. The fastest heat of the 1500 metres freestyle, which means the return of Maria Belmonte. Then we'll have the 100 butterfly. No James Guy, as we mentioned in that. The women's 100 freestyle. Men's 200 freestyle. No James Guy in that. He's also the British record holder at that event. Then the 200 butterfly for women. The men's 50 metres breaststroke. There might be a certain Adam Peaty showing up for that one. The women's 50 breaststroke, and then we'll conclude affairs no relay tonight with the men's 400 metres individual medley. And one more chance to say happy birthday to the British record holder, Max Litchfield, who's not here because he's having some work on his shoulder, and we're missing the Commonwealth Games because of that. We have a swim-off also to start things off. Sorry, Becky, to interrupt. We've got a little swim-off to start off. It's not on your caption there, but we will have a 100 metres freestyle swim-off for Rhiannon Bowen and Kaylee Decker, because we need to sort out the numbers for 100 metres freestyle. They both did 58.35 this morning. So once again, I posed the question, will they go faster this afternoon?
100%, because it's in the evening.
Yeah.
This morning we saw the swim off, and obviously because it was at the back of the session final, they had only had kind of 30 minutes in between, so they didn't swim as fast as we thought. Well, you predicted they would do a massive job, whereas I'm pretty sure these girls will. So they are just for first reserve. So in essence, they could just treat this as their final anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they can do and see where the final winning time might have put them in terms of getting into the junior final. They are both juniors. Team Bath's Rhiannon Bowen, looked after by Chris Alderton. And there in the West Country, or Southwest, I suppose you should say, really. Kaylee Decker of Thanet, so they both did 58.35. The fastest time was 57.28 at the juniors. The slowest was 58.29, so they weren't too far shy of that. First time we've seen a swim off in 100. We've seen 50 swim offs, but no 100 so far. First one of the week.
At least it's not a 400.
Yes, that's true. Or the 1500s. Has there ever been a 1500 swim off?
No, surely not.
Well, we wouldn't have thought so, would you? But I'm sure it's occurred somewhere. So I have seen swim offs where they've had to do it twice.
Oh, because they've got to swim off again.
Yeah. But it's a rarity.
Don't jinx us, Bob.
So closest to us is Rhiannon Bowen of Team Bath and Kaylee Decker of Mount Kelly on the far side. So times that they set earlier on today were 58.35. And this looks like it could be just about as tight as it was earlier on today. Who's your money on?
Oh, I'm not sure.
50 gone. And the gap is 3.4 between Rhiannon and Kaylee, but
Rhiannon does look stronger here. I mean, she was leading down that first length, but the gap's getting even bigger now.
yeah, Rhiannon looks like she's probably got this one nailed, you would think, with 25 to go. Is there anything left in the tank for Kaylee Decker to overtake her? Looking unlikely. So let's see what time we're going to find from Rhiannon Bowen. 58.35 it was this morning. Oh, a little bit slower. 58.42 compared to 59.43, but she gets the first reserve place for the final, which will be very shortly, actually. Well, it'll be in a couple of events' time. I say very shortly. We've got a 17-minute race to come before that, and then we've got the got 3 100 butterflies, so it's probably about 32 minutes away.
Nothing's quick when it involves the 1500.
That's very true. It's very true. Anyway, 58.42 for Rhiannon. As we move on to the fastest heat for the women's 1500 metres freestyle, we're going to be a chance to do a little bit of homework from things that I've picked up during the course of the day, including a shout out to Ben Campbell-James, who you may recall I've been mentioning the last couple of days, a little bit perplexed because he has a very British name.
Yes.
He is swimming out of a German club. I get a message from Ben today saying, "Hello Bob, I am from Wales, I live in Munich, and I swim for Stadtwerke." And he says, can I give a shout out to Munich Swimming? So there you go. So he is Welsh, he is British, but he's actually based in Germany and swimming for a German club. So that's why.
Solves that one.
Yeah, it does, because you and I think we're quite intrigued to see something with what sounds like a very British, not an English name, because he's Welsh. Be very careful on that.
You like Miss Marple or
No,
whatever you just call her.
actually, no. I want to say thank you to Ben for getting in touch with me to let me know that bit of detail. But it's good to know the swimmers are watching. I know Max Litchfield was watching this morning as well. So we know the swimmers, I think the ones who aren't involved here, maybe the ones who already finished as well, are going home and tuning in. So wherever you are, wherever you're watching on BBC Connected TV, BBC Online, or YouTube or Facebook, you are more than welcome. And thank you for all the positive feedback. We had some really good feedback the last few days, haven't we? Well, we have. You've been reading it out.
Yeah, no, we have. Everyone keeps mentioning how much we're giggling, though, Bob.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's unfortunately
Your fault. Your fault.
I'm not sure I want to share the blame on that one, to be honest, but there you go. 1500 metres freestyle is our fastest heat. It's not a final as such, but of course it, in effect, is. We have somebody in this field who's so much quicker than everybody else. It may well be a procession. So we may not be talking about a great deal, because I think she'll be at the front of the field at some point, maybe early on. That's Maria Belmonte, who, as you heard from Becky earlier in the programme, and indeed this morning, has 4 Olympic medals. 1 gold in the 200 fly. And she's going in lane number 4. What we also need to check is on, off the back of John's chat with Tim Jones, the junior qualification time for the 1500 metres freestyle.
Is 16:57.72, sorry. Yes.
16:57.72, so Leah Crisp has got close to that time, hasn't quite got it yet. Michaela Glenister likewise. They're all around 17.05 to 17.10. It's not out of the question they could do it, or Alicia Hawkins, or Ian McLeod, or, well, those are the Brits who have a possibility of getting the time. We might see one, we might see two on the team, and say Tim Jones is saying that team's filling up quite nicely. We might even get the 30 we're looking for.
Yeah, it'd be good to see these girls just even break that 17-minute mark. Obviously, it is one of those barriers that we all want to achieve. I can't even remember whether I've ever been under 17 minutes, to be honest.
I would have thought that, I don't know, in the back of my mind, I thought you must have held the British record at some point. But
no.
that would have been Rebecca Cook for many, many years, I reckon.
I think the thing is, obviously, the 1500 has only just become an Olympic event. It's always been in the World Championships, but I've always kind of thought, well, what was the point in...
You didn't do it in Melbourne, did you? You definitely didn't do it.
I didn't go to Melbourne, so no.
No, you did. You did World Champs.
Oh, I thought you meant the Commonwealth
No, the World
Games.
Champs.
No, I've never done it because I've just kind of thought, what's the point if it's not an Olympic event? I want to practice my Olympic program that I was going to do at an Olympic Games. So there was kind of no point to add it. I'd rather add the 200 metres freestyle.
To get some speed.
Yeah, but also for the 4x2 relay as well, because we have traditionally been really good at that and strong at that relay as well. Not so much nowadays, but we hope to see that change over the next couple of years and get the girls' relays just as good as the men's relays.
Well, I said, there was a time, and it's not so long ago, where the men and the women had quite a rivalry there, because the men's 4x2 and the women's 4x2 were quite comparable in terms of standard.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, there was myself, Joe Jackson, Caitlin McClatchy, Mel Marshall, Hannah Miley, Fran Halsall. We could name so many of the strong girls, but it just seems that the boys have overtaken us a little bit.
Time for a seed change, you would think. Let's see who the strongest of the Brits is in the 1500 metres freestyle. We know who the strongest internationally is going to be. If she doesn't win this by a great big margin, it will be very surprising. I'll tell you, she's already posted a pretty quick time this year already, has Maria Belmonte. At the Catalonia Open, she did 16:32.78. Fastest time in the world is from an Italian, Simona Quadrella. Set in Geneva, of course, early part of the year. There aren't too many particularly quick times, but the Australians have just had their trials, more of which, in fact, we might as well talk about now as we have a bit of time watching Maria. Only 12. Remember, the Commonwealth Games are about 4 weeks away now, 4 to 5 weeks away. Only 12 Australians reached the A qualification standard in all their events. They're taking 70.
70?
They are taking 70. They are taking...
Wow.
Yeah. 49 able-bodied swimmers, 21 Paralympians.
That is a huge team. I think, though, with the Commonwealth Games, obviously their trials only just happening, that it's probably a case of most of their athletes knew that with such a big team, they probably didn't have to rest back for it, they didn't have to taper for it, and they can now have 5 weeks to finish off their preparations. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw much, much faster times being posted in 5 weeks' time.
Well, they've gone down the American route by having their trials very close to the event, which is something we tried one year and didn't really work, and we're kind of doing it at a bit of a distance. But the Australians thinking, okay, let's see if we can replicate the American model, and on the face of it, doesn't seem to have worked particularly well.
Well, I think when you've got such a big team, the athletes probably felt a little bit relaxed about it. I think when you know that it's such a big team that you've kind of not got to bust a gut, have you, to really make the team. So I think it's probably made the athletes quite relaxed because they've already known they were going. So I'm not actually surprised that it was that less, only getting the A time, whereas for us, obviously, we have different selection policies for Wales, Scotland and England, and the English team is by far the biggest team, but hopefully our guys can... Obviously, we've still got a meet at the same time, it's just not a qualifying meet, so hopefully our guys will be rivaling the Aussies. It is the friendly games, I always say.
Yeah, obviously last time, the British team collectively, England, Scotland and Wales, were in Melbourne. I think we could say we kicked to their bottoms somewhat. In fact, was it the last event? They hadn't won any event in the men's programme, I think, until the last relay. I think the medley relay it was. The Australians had not won a single event all the way through until the men's relay, right at the last day. Because David Carey started things off with a 400 free, and basically it was a procession of Chris Cook and people like that, all winning gold medals in Melbourne. Australia's men hadn't won anything till the final day, not a gold medal till the final day. It'd be nice if that happens again, wouldn't it?
Can't say I remember that one. I was only about 16.
You were way too young. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You were still being bottle fed at that time.
16? Not quite.
1500 metres freestyle. It's the fastest heat we're looking at here, and we are looking at Maria Belmonte. We're basically looking at the two Spaniards, as we suspect it might be the case, because Maria Belmonte has an entry time of 15:50.89, and Jimena Perez of Spain in the adjoining lane, 16:19.50. So the interest from our point of view is obviously to see who the top Brit will be. Leah Crisp is at the moment 5:36.96, and that target time for her, if she wants to automatically make the team for the European Junior Championships in July, is 16:57.72. Right, give me the lowdown on what you know, because you've competed against her, about Maria Belmonte as a person.
She's always been really nice, really lovely. I mean, she's always done so many events. I wouldn't necessarily say the 800 metres, even though it is, because she's got Olympic medals in it, is probably one of her favoured events. I've always kind of associated her more with 200 metres butterfly and 400 metres medley as well and things. So, but she's just such an all-rounder. I mean, she's got the 200 metres butterfly in a couple of races' time, so I'm not surprised that she's not kind of busting a gut here. This is probably just her warm-up, to be honest, ready for that 200 fly.
1500 to warm up.
It probably is for her. But yeah, she's kind of been around for so long. She's kind of a little bit like Hannah Miley in that sense, that she has been good for many, many years, been consistent. We saw her have a little bit of a dip over the past few years, but mainly just due to injury and taking time out and having shoulder surgery, which she's obviously now corrected and back on form.
In terms of time, this is quite a hard race to talk to you through, because you've got the two Spaniards are in their own little race at the front, and then you've got the British section coming up behind. But you can see there's a massive chasm. Top placed Brit is right down the bottom of your picture, so the gap between first and second is short. That gap between first and third is around about 25 metres at the moment.
Well, I mean, we can't even get them all in the shot, can we? But you kind of expected this. I mean, her entry time is so much quicker than the rest of the field. So hopefully the rest of the field won't dip off too much, because it isn't particularly that quick at the minute from Belmonte at all. So hopefully the other girls haven't kind of thought to themselves, oh, well, she must be absolutely flying, and just kind of ease back. Hopefully they are making their way through.
Yeah, Leah Crisp still continues to lead, and probably, well, she might do for quite some while yet. Michaela Glenister in lane 2 from City of Leicester in second place as far as the Brits are concerned, and Neem Hofland of Royal Wolverhampton in third place. It's a battle. Well, I say a battle, it's kind of a mini battle, if you like, between the two Spaniards. I think like Jimena Perez knows she's not going to win this either, and it's all about Belmonte against the clock. A gap, though, is extending between 1 and 2, and equally between 2 and 3. Belmonte 1, 2, 3, 4 body lengths, I'd say, clear of her Spanish teammate. And we'll look for Leah Crisp to come back off the wall now. She's coming up to about halfway through this 50, but Belmonte turns in 8:44.70.
It's not particularly fast.
No, the gap between first and second is 3. Well, again, that's when she looks at the field and thinks, well, why do I need a busty gut? I've got the event I can also win in about half an hour's time. So why not?
Warm up for her.
And she will be obviously red-hot favourite to get double gold, although of course she won't win both events today, because the international swimmers can't win it. But when it comes to the 200...
She's going to have earned some money this week, though.
Yeah, she will have done, definitely. Definitely in that. As Thomas will be up against her. She is actually quicker on paper from this morning by, well, 3 seconds. But we'll come into Alice's year so far. When we get to the 200 fly, gap's not really increasing much between Belmonte and Perez. So we'll look at Leah Crisp, turning in a 9:36.68. Target time, remember, 16:57.72. It was 3 seconds between the two Spaniards when I last looked at their split. It is now 4 seconds between the two Spaniards. So Belmonte just looking very easy, very smooth. Legs are barely kicking. There's just a little flutter kick, that's about it.
She doesn't need to anyway. it's always amazing to me how we talk about in men's swimming the fact that men almost have this other gear that they can just pick up the speed at the drop of a hat if you ask them to, whereas women struggle to do that most of the time. You don't have that extra level to go to as a woman, whereas Belmonte just does. It's almost like...
And obviously Ledecky does it, but Ledecky starts so quickly anyway.
Yeah,
she kind of starts in fourth gear in any case.
Yeah, no, exactly. But it's incredible over such a distance event that Maria looks like she's always at the back. She's always kind of just weighing up what the opposition, and then all of a sudden she just storms through, and you think to yourself that she can't possibly claw that back, and somehow she just does every single time. It's almost like she needs the first 200 to just get going.
Get a measurement of the gap between the two Spaniards. It was 4 seconds between Belmonte and Perez, and it is now 5 seconds. So she's pretty much repping around about half a second to a second in advance of Jimena Perez. We're waiting for Leah Crisp to come up the far end to give us her time and see where she is in terms and relative to the qualification time for the juniors she needs. Well, she's 11:19.86. This time in a 1500, kind of lose track of how far into the race we are.
I think they've got 500 to go.
Yeah, it looks it'll be 8 when they come back. I think next time. I think it's 8.
Yeah, so this is, yeah. You've confused me, Bob.
No, I looked at the time down there. So
yeah, coming up to this turn, she's got 400 to go.
yeah, so it's 8 lengths to go when she turns next time, and you can see that lead is appreciably opening between Belmonte in 4 and Jimena Perez in lane number 5. It was up to 5 seconds. I think it might be a little bit more, well, a lot more than that. Let's have a look. 12:01. Yeah, it's up to 6 seconds now.
I think probably her and her coach, Fred, who is here. And Fred, we should also talk about, as he coached here in this pool for 4 years. I spoke to him earlier, and he was glad to be back, because obviously Edinburgh is close to his heart. But
yeah, he lived here quite some time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But so yeah, Fred and Maria have obviously had a great partnership for many, many years now, and obviously he's done fantastic things with her. But they've probably had a conversation before this and said, right, just build through each 500s, make sure that that last 500 is probably going to be her quickest one, I imagine.
You would think so, and well, you can appreciably see without even the clock needing to tell us that the lead is now somewhere in the region of 12 meters between our leader and the other Spaniard. I don't think
she might lap them here.
She could. Yeah, every likelihood she'll lap somebody anyway before the end of this one, and she will have another 300 to go when she turns this time. 13:07:01. Well, when she did the her best time of the year so far was the Catalonia Open, when she did 16:32.78. That was earlier on in the year. Best time of the year was from the Italian Simona Quadrella, which was set in Geneva in January of 16:13.82. She's not going to do that. Not today.
No.
She is going to win it, and the question is how much she's going to win it by. Now, let's look at the gap between the two Spaniards again. Remember, it was 6 seconds. I think it's getting up towards maybe, I was about to say 10. It's up to 9 over Perez. Now, third place will be Leah Crisp, and she will be, it's very interesting. You can see people are clocking times and getting positions, but Leah Crisp will be the next one to clock a time. Still waiting for her time. That's how far ahead Maria Belmonte is. There you go, 14:11.87 for Leah. But Belmonte, as Leah was finishing at one end, Maria was touching at the other end.
It's great for Leah, though. I mean, she's still a junior, and she's going to come into this being British champion.
Well, you can see Belmonte going right and Leah going left. And this is going to be a huge chasm between the two Spaniards. Well, say on paper, there's already 30 seconds between them anyway. Belmonte's entry time 15:50, her best time in recent times. Jimena Perez with a 16:19. And you can just see Spaniard finishing this leg at, well, about 20 meters, I suppose, between her and Maria Belmonte. Our interest, of course, is centered around Leah Crisp. 16:57.72. And we'll hear the bell. Maria Belmonte will hear the bell. And there it is to signify the last 100 coming up. Now 15:17. What do you reckon? 16:30?
No, I think she'll go quicker than the 16:30.
Well, that means she'll go with her quickest time of the year then. 16:32 was her Catalonia Open time. Depends whether she really wants to get up. 16:20, 16:25. It's like I'm an auctioneer here. Say it's the lady with blonde hair over there, 16:20.
Well, Maria hasn't actually started kicking that much yet.
Does she need to?
So it just depends if she does decide to kick down this last length or not.
Well, she'll come back in 35, won't she?
Oh, yeah, she started kicking.
Ah,
here we go.
Here come the legs. So 16:20, 16:25, maybe a 16:25 to 30. Certainly will be her fastest time of the year. Of that there is no doubt. Bells are ringing out for everybody else. Sounds like church bringing people to prayer on a Sunday morning, the amount of bells we're hearing down below us. Anyway, Belmonte was 16:21. And that is the second fastest time in the world this year. 16:21.70. And is she breathing heavily? Not really. Jimena Perez.
Oh, she is.
14 seconds behind. Yeah, I think that's a new meet record for Maria Belmonte. Now,
I don't think it...
No, Leia's not going to do it, is she?
No, unfortunately not.
Because she's not going to get back in 27 seconds from there, unfortunately.
I think if Leia had probably had someone challenging her, someone next to her, probably would have pushed that time, but unfortunately not. But she's got to take it. She's British champion. She's only, what, 17 years of age?
Well, she's 6 seconds outside in the end with a 17:03.47. And yeah, she is 16 years of age from City of Leeds. So that will be, I believe, a 12-second PB. So 17:03 compared to her entry time of 17:15. So I think that is quite a sizable personal best for Leia. And she can say, I set my personal best up against an Olympic swimmer.
Well, an Olympic champion.
Yeah, not in this event, but yeah, in the 1500
still got a gold medal, Bob.
Absolutely. Very true. Good job, Leia. And may still get to swim that at the European Juniors in the summer anyway, but that's Maria Belmonte finishing off. Not finishing off her program, though, because, as we just mentioned, she'll be back for the 200 meters butterfly, where she'll also be favourite in that a little later on. That'll be a bit more competitive, though, with her up against Alice Thomas a little later in the program.
I think that event was probably her warm-up, swim down, everything in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, she'll not have long in turnaround times. We've got 3 finals, 6 finals. Well, yeah, she'll go a little while. She'll have about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I suppose, to get ourselves attuned to that. Now, men's 100 meters butterfly. James Guy is the British record holder, set at the World Championships in the semi-final in 2017. 50.67 is that time, and James also has the 3rd fastest time in the world this year. There's an Aussie who's been quicker, though. David McCarthy has just done a 52.22 at the Australian trials, which is 9/100ths quicker than James. Now, if any of the Brits could get sub 53, they go into the world's top 12 for this year. Won't happen in the juniors. Could happen with the likes of Jacob Peters. We'll talk more about him when we get to that race, because he'll be the junior going for a time of
53.66. I mean, he was just shy of that this morning, so it's definitely got to be in his sights.
There's the lineup for the junior final. Conrad Fleckenstein of SG Stat, Edward Mildred of Northampton, Archie Goodburn, Warren de Bards, Santos Villalon of Millfield, Daniel Savage, Northampton, Ben Hooper of Hillingdon, Sam Daly of Mount Kelly, Bjorn Kamen of Hamburg. All of them have something in common. They were all born 2000 or after.
Stop making us feel old, Bob.
Oh, I'm past that stage now.
Oh, well, my daughter's got a date of birth of 2015.
I'm wheeling my bath chair in before the end of the session here. But yeah, the oldest of them was loads of 2000, but there is a 14-year-old. Edward Mildred goes in lane number 2. He's born in 2003.
A baby.
A mere baby in arms. Now, who's going to bring this one back for the junior final? Remember, 53.66. You can see a bit of noise being generated from the far side. It's a really good race, this, too, with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all in line. Sam Daly of Mount Kelly is the furthest forward it was seen to be. They're all going to the wall together. Is he going to get there? Lane 7. Yes, he does. 55.30. Sam Daly has gone about a second quicker than he went this morning. Good swim from Daly. Archie Goodburn in second place. Daniel Savage in third. 55.30 is the winning time in that. Excellent work by Sam. And 54.91 was his entry time.
I mean, there's only 0.3 separating between 1 and 5 there. That was a very close race.
Yeah, not personal best for Sam, but he wins the junior final.
We have still got some juniors to come. We've got Lewis in the B final, who's going in lane 8, and then obviously Jacob Peters going in the last one that is still has that European junior qualifying time in their sights.
Yeah, we'll give you the run through when they've got themselves ready on pool deck. They're quite slow, these juniors, getting out of the pool. Come on, boys, hurry it up. There they go, and here they come for the B final. Dominic Wooldridge of Exeter City, Matthew Donville of Warrington, Jacob Jackson of Ellesmere, Alexander Kunert of Germany, Alberto Lozano of St Andrew, Cameron Brooks-Clark, City of Sheffield in 6, the oldest swimmer in the field at the age of 24, Sajan Prakash of India, and Lewis Fraser of Swansea Aquatics. Another one of those 2000 Millennium babies.
We don't see many people listen to music anymore. I mean, James Guy always has music when he walks on, and then when John asked him last night what he was listening to, he said Craig David.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Spot on. Spot on.
I would never have said Craig David.
No, he's a big soul man, is James. We've exchanged references on soul music over the years.
Do you like a bit of Craig David, Bob?
I like a bit of Craig David, yeah, absolutely. Takes me 7 days to listen to it, mind you, but still.
Yes, Bob. Get you on karaoke later.
So Dominic Wooldridge of Exeter City in 1, Matthew Donville, Warrington 2, Jacob Jackson, Ellesmere in 3, Alex Kunert of Germany 4, Alberto Lozano, St Andrew, Cameron Brooks-Clark, City of Sheffield, India's Sajan Prakash in 7, and Lewis Fraser of Swansea Aquatics. Just a reminder to you, there's only one junior in this, it's Lewis Fraser. That target time is 53.66 if he wants to get on the junior team. And the Indian in lane 6 is having a really good start here. And so is Cameron Brooks-Clark of the City of Sheffield. And 24.99 it is for him as he turns in lane 6.
Yeah, but lane 2, Matthew there had a fantastic turn. Great underwater.
Well, they're working hard on that at Warrington Walls, but they're also working hard on it at City of Sheffield as well. And Cameron Brooks-Clark, who isn't a junior.
Lewis in lane 8 is looking fantastic here.
Well, it might be Lewis Fraser
really
coming through. Oh, he is coming through, and he may well snatch it. Lewis Fraser, 53.86.
Oh.
Not quite the time. 0.2 of a second outside the automatic qualification time for the European juniors, but what a finish that was. He wasn't in the frame with 25 to go, but he got right there when it mattered and won that by 0.06 of a second from Cameron Brooks-Clark. And Matthew Donville finishing in 3rd place. So tight, look at that. Again, only 22 hundredths between 1 and 3.
Great race. Lewis timed that to absolute perfection and just came through that last 15 metres. He'll be gutted to just miss out on that time. But I think the great thing with the hundreds is that obviously you do have the 4x1 medley, so they do consider the times for relays, not just individuals. So he might make the team, but obviously we have got Jacob Peters to come, so he could get that automatic qualification that he wants.
Good stuff by Lewis, though. Certainly that finish was exemplary. he can get himself to a slightly quicker start, and that time is definitely going to start tumbling. On to the main final, I suppose our first proper main final of the afternoon. We consider the 1500 as the fastest heat. This is the open final for the 100 meters butterfly. No James Guy.
Be interested to see what Duncan Scott does here. I mean, we've said this week already that he's doing all the 100 meters. I would have thought if I was going to say Duncan Scott was swimming this afternoon, I would have said in the 200 freestyle, not in the 100 meters butterfly.
Yeah, bit of a surprise there. Take your hands out of your pockets. As coming onto pool deck, it's
Bossy,
Eric
Bob.
Frieser of Germany. In one, Sam Horrocks of the City of Manchester Aquatics. You're right about the headphones, though. It used to be really pretty much every swimmer who came on pool deck had some tunes going on, but
it's probably more to here we go.
There's one.
Sometimes it very often is when you go to a big major competition, because you have 10,000 people in the stands, then you just want to kind of stay focused.
2 in a row.
There's not quite 10,000 people here, but
no. Nice headphones though from Raymond Clens. Oh, some more music.
Oh, he's gone for the buds rather than the
no, they're not buds. They're actual kind of connected ones. Those really look odd, I think. The ones that don't have any connection at all. Looks like strange wax coming out of your ears or something.
Oh, Bob.
Brendan Highland we've just seen. Here's Jacob Peters of Pool.
I love how I said no one's having them. There's only one person that hasn't had them.
Well, Federico keeps up what you were saying there in lane number 4. And Federico Bediso, although he swims for a British club, is not British, so he can't win this event. So it's down to the others. So that really does kind of point the indicator towards Duncan Scott in 3 or Jacob Peters in 5, you would think. Duncan looked very good this morning. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he doesn't break his personal best in this. His personal best being, so see quickly looking down from what he put earlier on. There it is, 52.91. That's what we're looking for from Duncan. If he doesn't go on to win it, try and get a personal best. City of Manchester Aquatics, Germany, University of Stirling, Mount Kelly, Pool, Ireland, City of Glasgow and Germany is where they come from. There's noisy people in this afternoon. The pub's just opened. Ready to go. 2 lengths of this Edinburgh pool. Let's see who's going to come up last. Last is actually lane number 5, Jacob Peters. Last to emerge off that dive.
Oh, they're all pretty much in a line though here. Who you calling, Bob?
Well, I'm going to go Peters. I'm going to go Peters because he had the best start. See if he can bring it back now. Duncan Scott, we know, has got the speed. But at the moment, it is Federico Bediso. Now, of course, he could win it from an overseas perspective. We're looking at the top Briton and Jacob Peters in 5. Actually, he's not keeping track with him at all. Raymond Clens of Germany is also in this lineup. But here comes the finish from Brendan Highland. We might have a 1-2-3 overseas here, you know. We might possibly have Bediso and the German and the Irishman getting there first, and we will have that, I think. Oh, Jacob Peters gets the top British spot, 53.78, so he doesn't get the qualification time for
But does
juniors.
Federico, because he swims for a British club, not get it? Because
No, apparently not.
well, Michael Gunning got a medal, and he's Jamaican, and he swims for a
Okay.
British club.
All right. I'll double check that, but in terms of...
I thought it was if you swim for a British club.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Yeah.
But Michael Gunning got one, and he's Jamaican.
Okay, you've just confused things. Thanks very
Sorry.
much indeed.
Sorry.
Well, we'll discover later, but I was told that...
Well, we should say anyway, Jacob Peters just missed out on that qualifying time.
He did.
The 53.66. Unfortunately, he finished in a 53.78, but he is going to the Commonwealth Games, and I'm pretty sure he might be put on the team.
I think it's every likelihood. 100 free back. I'm sure he will. If he doesn't bypass that and go to the seniors, of course, which is another thing that's an option for him. 100 meters freestyle coming up next, and again, we're talking about areas that, in terms of depth in British swimming, something that needs to be addressed in the not too distant future. We don't have Fran Housel, we don't have Amy Smith anymore. They've now retired, so it's a big chasm opened up
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've seen Siobhan do 100 free a couple of times, but obviously Siobhan's very good on the 100 metres butterfly, very good on the 200 medley. She has a 100 metre breaststroke. She's British record holder in, so it's a big ask to add another event to Siobhan's programme. So we have got Freya Anderson. Obviously, she's only 17 years of age, going to the Commonwealth Games. We've seen great hopes from her, and she's definitely the one to kind of watch, I think, that is emerging.
Give you the run through for the junior final, and Rebecca Adlington OBE will supply us with the junior time required for Finland.
Okay, Robert. It is a 56.09.
Thank you
Got my full name there. Why have you full names?
Have you been on Countdown?
No.
Should be. Do you not want to be on Countdown?
I don't think I'm quite smart enough, Bob.
I think you'd be great on Countdown.
I don't think I'm that intelligent.
Right, on to the junior final then.
Can I do dictionary corner?
You can do, that's what I was thinking, actually. We fancy dictionary corner. So that's some of the words you come up with, isn't it? Sophie Smith, Emily Hames, Macy Lawrence, Jemima Hall, Nyenka Yonk, Mia Slevin, Elena Morgan. That was the tea trolley arriving there. Hannah Kutzler, a Potsdamer. That's you want to wait in the 100 freestyle junior, and of course we saw earlier on the swim off, which is won by Rhiannon Bowen. Anyway, that's all in history. Let's look and see how the race develops, and we might see the German in lane 8 going out pretty quickly, and that's exactly what she is doing. Flanked all the way by Macy Lawrence of Basildon in lane number 3, and they are absolutely tied, and Sophie Smith too.
I mean, these girls were a good second off that qualifying time this morning, but we have got some juniors going in the B and A finals, so look out for them. But hopefully these girls can at least sit down into low 57s and possibly a 56.
Well, watch Jemima Hall coming through here in lane number 4. She wasn't really in the frame at 50. She's very much in the frame at 100, but so too is Macy Lawrence still. It's going to be lane number 5. The Dutch woman, 56.92. The top Brit, Jemima Hall, in a 57.23. Joint second with Macy Lawrence, 57.23, and Hannah Kutzler with a 57.56. So it's Nyenka Yonk who gets the win for the Netherlands, but obviously can't win it.
Why does that name make me laugh? Such a child. Say it again.
Nyenka Yonk. B final of the 100 meters freestyle. And these are the competitors in it. Alicia Wilson of Guildford, Melanie Costa of Spain, Laura Riedman of Germany, Ellie Faulkner in a B final. Poor Ellie, it's a tough week for her because she'd love to swim quicker. Of course she would. It's her nationals, but her body just says, no, you can't. Simple as.
I mean, we've seen that across the board. Hannah's openly said she's so tired. We saw Holly Hibbert on the podium saying to John as well that it's just been really, really hard and tough training. So for a lot of these guys, they're going into their final preparations, so it's kind of had to be kind of swim through it. It's got to be a bit of a slog and it's going to hurt, but at the same time they want to get involved. And we did question whether Ellie was going to pull out of this event this morning, and it's good to see her in it. She's a tough cookie, and I'm sure she'll be wanting to improve on that time of a 56.86 that she went this morning.
Word from the people that know is that Federico Bodiso will not be receiving a medal because he's an overseas swimmer. There you go.
Interesting.
This is the B final. Guildford City, Spain, Germany, City of Sheffield. Rachel Masson from Edinburgh in 5. Johanna Roas of Germany in 6. Representing Germany is Alexander Benk and Imani de Jong of the Netherlands. Those are in the 2 outside lanes. So which of the Brits could win this B final? It should be on paper if she's feeling anything like Ellie Faulkner, because she has a much faster personal best than anybody else.
Well, Ellie's had a great start here. She's out in front. It's just whether she can hold on to that. Lane 8's going well there at the top of the screen. The Netherlands summer. Yeah, she's still in the lead here, and we know Ellie, she isn't going to die off. She's definitely got the endurance here.
54.88, by the way, is her entry time, so she'll be too quick for the rest of the field if her body is going to allow her to get to the wall. She will be pursued all the way, though, by Rachel Masson. Yeah, in lane number 5, and it's going to be quite a scrap between these two. Can Ellie hold on? She's just about going to do so. 55.82 for Ellie Faulkner.
I think she's going to be really pleased with that. I mean, she said to you the other night before the 400, she was like, Bob, don't expect anything quick from me. So actually, to be only a second off her best time, I think she's going to be really pleased with that.
Well, that's quicker than anybody went in the heats this morning in the Open final. So I suppose if she'd done that this morning. But ifs and ands were pots and pans, eh?
Huh?
You not have that expression?
No.
Okay, you have now.
Learning all sorts from you this week, Bob.
Fran Halsall has the British record, by the way, which is another one of those that's been sitting there stubbornly on the books since 2009 at the World Championships.
This time is pretty impressive.
52.87. Very quick time indeed. We won't see anybody get within a smidgen of that in the Open final, which will contain one overseas swimmer in lane number 5. In Leiden Munoz, but the rest are all British stock. And I'll be interested because I've been following the progress of Chris Alderton. Obviously, he was a swimmer who swam around your time.
He was. I think we went to European Juniors together, maybe?
Obviously, he was a 1,500 metres freestyler, did the 800 as well. Who's now become a coach down at Team Bath, and I'm kind of keeping across what he's doing with them. And I know one of the swimmers he rates very much is Laura McNabb, who will be in lane 2 for this one.
We've got an amazing crop, I would like to say, of young coaches. We've got Ewan Dale, Ian Hume, Mel Marshall, slightly a little bit older, but again, great experience. So it's good to see those swimmers kind of taking their field, taking their hand to coaching.
She, Lucy Hope, is the fastest Brit in the world at the moment this year. Amazingly, I looked through to see where the Brits were in the rankings. It's Lucy Hope.
On what time?
Ah, there you go.
Oh, I'm challenging you now, Bob.
She did a 55.5.
Okay.
There you go. So 55.53 that she set in Luxembourg in January.
Did none of the Aussies go quicker?
No, in terms of Brits, sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, in terms of overseas, Kate Campbell did a 52.37 and Bronte did a 52.96 at the Australian trials. And Sarah Sjostrom a 53.44, so...
I was going to say, I expected the Campbell sisters to be in there.
Yeah, no, but in terms of Brits, I mean, it's not an event that's been swum a lot by the Brits, to be honest, so that may not mean a great deal, but she did post a time of 55.53 in Luxembourg a couple of months ago. It was a big meet, actually. A lot of Brits went to the Luxembourg meet. James Guy set the fastest time at that time in the 100 fly as well. So let's see what Lucy can do in this one. She's had a good week, and she'll be hoping to get in the mix for this one. Emily Crane of Loughborough in 1. Laura McNabb, I've already mentioned, Team Bath in 2. Freya Anderson of Ellesmere College in 3. 4, Katie Stark of Edinburgh. Leiden Munoz of Spain 5. Jessica Jackson of Plymouth in 6. And the home pool for both Lucy Hope and Catherine Greenslade in Edinburgh. 2 lengths of the Edinburgh pool. Fastest qualifier was Lucy Stark, was Katie Stark, 56.08. But all of them clocking 56 times this morning. Looking at Katie Stark of Edinburgh. 3 Edinburgh swimmers, of course. In 4, but in 5, Leiden Munoz of Spain has got to a real flyer.
She had a great start, but the girls are starting to come back at it now. It is a line. We saw Freya this morning, kind of turned in 8th and then finished 1st. So expect Freya to come back a little bit on the field here, but I know Freya has been suffering from a little bit of a back injury. So I don't think she'll be wanting to push that too much ahead of the Commonwealth Games, but hopefully she will start to come through now.
Looking at Jessica Jackson, though, Plymouth Leander, and she and Laura McNabb are having a real scrap on the far side in lane 7 and 8. Going to the centre lanes, looking at Katie Stark against Leiden Munoz. Some really good battles in here, but lane 3, Freya Anderson comes through to take it in 55.91. Well done to Freya, and that will give her the time for the European Juniors as well.
Did Ellie just go quicker there?
Do you know, I didn't write it down. Naughty boy. 55, well, still not as quick as Lucy went in Luxembourg, strangely enough.
Oh.
That winning time.
I thought Ellie went a 55.8, but I could be wrong.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point, because obviously what they should do is, yeah, we'll wait till we get the sheets up to look at that in detail, because I think you might well be right. In which case, will they get a winner from the B final? In theory. Deary?
You liking your rhymes tonight, aren't you, Bob?
Medal ceremony for the 1500 meters freestyle, and what we're going to have to do is dispense with Maria Belmonte, sorry, and Jimena Perez, bye-bye, because we've got 3 Brits who come in the next order: Leah Crisp, Alicia Hawkins, and Michaela Glenister, who I don't think I actually mentioned in the race at all, because she was quite a long way back, but because the 1 and 2 are Spanish, Leah will be the national champion from the City of Leeds. Alicia Hawkins of Stockport Metro will get 2nd place, and Michaela Glenister of City of Leicester. There's some funky swimwear on the bronze medal podium. And here comes the presentation for that. Just a reminder, Maria Belmonte did do a 16:21:70, which is 2nd fastest time in the world this year from Belmonte. Jimena Perez was 2nd. That will be the bronze for Michaela Glenister, 15 years of age, from City of Leicester.
Oh, she looks so happy there.
Well,
That's really
that's her
sweet.
first Nationals medal, I would imagine. I can't imagine, unless she got a junior medal last year, that will be her first one at senior level. Alicia Hawkins, and the winner, City of Leeds, 17:03:47. Leah Crisp still looking to get under that 17-minute barrier, but a big personal best for her today. Excellent work for Leah Crisp, 16 years of age. Let's see what she has to say with John.
Congratulations, Leah, British champion. Really tough event. Why have you chosen it?
Well, I am a bit of a distance swimmer, and obviously it's been added into the kind of Olympic programme, so I thought may as well give it a go, get some practice of this event in.
I mean, this is the first time, like you said, it has been added into the Olympic programme. Is it a really exciting time for women's distance swimming in the UK?
Yeah, it's great that there's like a new event. Obviously, it's nearly, well, just less than double the distance of 800, so it's kind of like open for new people to try and, you know, getting to go and find their event.
And great for you to take the title. I know you've got a lot of fans in tonight. They were cheering you on. Now, how are you going to celebrate?
Probably go home, maybe have pizza.
Fantastic, fantastic way to celebrate. Look, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for...
Oh, took his mic out before he got a chance to say her name. There's a bit of a pattern emerging on this one, isn't it? Leah Crisp.
You can finish your sentence.
I'll do that. Poor old Leah needs the... We will confirm for you, by the way, exactly what Becky thought was the case. Ellie Faulkner did a 55.82 and Freya Anderson a 55.91. So it should mean, if the normal order exists here, that Ellie Faulkner will be the gold medalist by that time in the B final.
But are they allowed in the B final? Do we know?
Well, we've got a team of scientists working on it for us. The boffins are downstairs, number crunching as we speak. Only medals in the A final. I don't know why that should be. It never has been before, has it?
It is a shame. It is a shame, obviously, when Ellie is the fastest. But at the same time, the rules are the rules.
Them rules are dare to be broken, as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. As we move on to the 100 butterfly for men, and top 3 from a British point of view. Let's look down a little bit. Sam Horrocks of City of Manchester Aquatics. There he is with the bronze. Duncan Scott, a butterfly. Whatever next.
He did do the 100 breaststroke.
He certainly did. He did. Well, he's done the whole gamut. But our winner, and a real name to watch out for. Everybody rating this boy's future, saying he's going to be a future star. Well, we see him in the flesh today. Jacob Peters of Pool with a 53.78 is the top Briton, because first was Bediso and second was an Irishman. So, John, let's have a few words with him and see what he's got to say.
Congratulations, mate. Fantastic race. You must have been happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Yeah, it was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, you were in the pool with such incredible swimmers and a junior. A lot of people talking about your development. How are you approaching the transition to senior?
Well, I'm just trying to stay positive, like try actions speak louder than words, so I'm just going to go in by that.
Leave it in the pool. Is it a nice experience to sort of be in this pool on such a stage with incredible athletes like these guys beside you?
Sorry, I didn't quite.
Are you enjoying being in the pool with these amazing athletes?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a great experience.
Well, look, congratulations, British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jacob Peters!
Thanks, John. We'll move on to the next event on the programme. And he's already got one mention because of being the British record holder in the 100 fly. He also retains that in the 200 metres freestyle. There's James Guy, set the World Championships in Kazan 2015, 1:45.14. Well, again, nobody's going to get close. Have a quick look and see what the Aussies have been doing in this event. It's always been a very strong event for them. Carl Chambers a 1:46, Mac Horton a 1:46.
Very quick.
Top time in the world, though, has come from the Lithuanian Danas Rapsis. 1:45.35. It's fastest in the world so far.
Not too shabby, is it?
Not shabby at all. And the top time for the Brits. Actually, you don't have anybody down with a particularly quick time there, so next time somebody did. And there are enough in here to do just that.
Well, the European Juniors time that these boys need to get is 1:50.37. We have got Jacob Goodman and Luke Turley going in the B final, that are both juniors.
I'm trying to work out where all this noise is coming from, because there are some hooligans in the stands.
I don't think they're hooligans. I think they're just cheering on their teammates.
They're boisterous. All right, put it that way. Charlie Paul, our City of Leicester. Samuel Osborne, City of Birmingham. Luke Kroon of the Netherlands. Watch out for Tom Dean in lane 4 from Maidenhead. Harry Constantine of Hatfield in 5. Federico Bediso is back again in lane 6. Harry Stacey of Aberdeen in 7. Matthew Richards in lane 8. And talk about the swimmers who are a very good week, a week that they will remember. Look at the boy in lane 4 here, Tom Dean, 17 years of age from Maidenhead. And I was racking my brains before we came in here, which is quite a difficult job for me, so you've got to give me a little bit of time. I don't remember any really top-class swimmers from Maidenhead. There's some good swimmers, but has anybody really broken out of that pack?
I can't think of any. And you've done more homework than me, Bob.
Well, I've been covering the sport.
And you're older than me.
Yeah, well, in every respect, that is true. But Tom Dean is obviously the star of the Maidenhead programme right now and is leading the way. His time 1:52.13 from this morning. And that time he's looking for is 1:50. I've written this scriggle, 1:50.37. Is that right? Is that 2 or 7? I can't remember.
I can't even read your writing,
what have you written then?
I'll have a look, shall I?
No, what have you written on your... that's your qualification time for the...
1:50.37.
3:7, there you go. That's it. And, best time that we've had, or Tom has done,
is well, his entry time is a 1:52.0.
Right, so he was actually not too far outside of that this morning, 1:52.13, and he continues to lead the way. Second place is Luke Kroon of the Netherlands. Harry Constantine is in 3rd place. Now, can Tom Dean hold on here? He's being flanked either side by Luke Kroon to his left, Harry Constantine to his right, but you know what? He is just about holding on. He's got 15 to go. I think it's starting to hurt, but he is still at the front of the field. How long can he stay there? He's going to stay there all the way through to the end.
Wow.
1:50.35. He has done the qualifying time for the European Junior Championships. What a week Maidenhead's Tom Dean is having. A new personal best.
Yeah, I was going to say, if his entry time is his personal best time, then a huge personal best. That was fantastic, and obviously getting that qualification as well. They probably will take a 4x2 relay team as well, so amazing week from him. We saw him on the top of the podium last night in the medley.
And he was under a lot of pressure there, wasn't he? He had 2 swimmers right on his shoulder there with 25 to go, and I thought, right, a little pressure point for you here. You can either fold and your stroke can get a bit short and you can get a bit jittery at this stage. He didn't do any of that. He kept it going.
Well, the interesting thing for Tom is that he's got about 30 minutes before he's back in the pool as the fastest qualifier of the 400 medley. going in that A final.
That's
So
it.
he's not got much rest, so hopefully he's left something in the tank for that 400 medley.
Yeah, let's hope so, but I'm really impressed. Looking for standout juniors this week. He is most certainly one of them. 17 years of age from Maidenhead. Well done, Tom Dean. Lovely time and a new big personal best as well. Right, on to the B final for the 200 freestyle. There's some names in here we didn't expect, to be honest. Luke Turley of Hatfield in 1, not one of those. Max Novosad of SG Stan in 2, not one of those. But then we have Tim Shuttleworth of Loughborough in 3. Robin Backhouse of Germany in 4. Nick Granger in lane number 5. Again, he's making his preparations now for the Commonwealth Games. It was going to be for an event in Ireland. Kieran Bird in 6. Miguel Duran in Spain. And hello, Mrs. Goodman. Jacob Goodman goes in lane number 8 for Millfield. Won't make that mistake again. Even though it's got a K, it is a Jacob. B final of the 200 free. Nobody's going to get any quicker than 1:50.35, to be honest. Nobody did that this morning in the heats. Just waiting a little bit of time here. Max Novosad is now ready. Everybody ready for the 4-length event. So Hatfield, SG Stat. Loughborough University, SG Nurkelin. City of Sheffield, Millfield, Spain, and Millfield again in terms of the 8. So we've seen a quick time. Tom Dean, 1:50.35, so he passed by his standards. And immediately my eyes are drawn to lane number 5 and the big frame of Nick Granger.
Yeah, Nick had a great start there. He'll probably be a little bit disappointed to have missed out on that A final, so he'll be wanting to try and rectify that by posting a good time. I'm sure he's just watched Tom as well make that 150 point, and he'll be wanting to beat that.
So going pretty well for the German club SG Stat is Max Novosad in 2, but I think Nick's going to be thereabouts. In fact, it will be the German who'll get there just before him. Second place is Luke Turley of Hatfield. Third is Robin Backhouse, and Nick Granger just slipping back to 4th. It's very tight between the top 4 at the moment, although lanes 1 and 2 do seem to be now determining the course of this race.
Yeah, the German's really starting to make a move here, but we will see probably that gap close a little bit on that last 50 metres, maybe.
Well, we'll find out now as they turn with Novosad leading from Luke Turley. Third place now is Jacob Goodman in lane number 8, coming through strongly, but they're all pretty much in a line for the other British medals. So the German may well go on to take this. I don't know who's going to take it. Do you know, it could be Jacob Goodman on the outside lane. He's going like a train. It's Jacob Goodman. His entry time was, heat time was 1:52.12. He's going to take this as Jacob Goodman, is he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is, in a 1:51.10. Well, that was a terrific swim. And again, kind of came out of nowhere. Came right through, and 1:50.51 is his best time prior to today, but it's good enough to win. The B final here is 1:51.10.
Yeah, just missing out on that European Junior qualification there, but like we said, they will be probably taking a 4x2 relay team, so I imagine he will be on that.
Well, Nick falling away to 8th place, I think, in the end.
Ouch.
1:52.17, that's not Nick Granger I know, not the Nick Granger he knows either, because he's right in the middle of hard training, and that's not an indicator of where he is likely to be in 4 or 5 weeks' time.
Now, who is your money on for the A final, Robert?
It's a tough one. It is a tough one. Jay Elliott's not really a 200 freestyler, but put in a decent time this morning. That's so tight, isn't it? They're all 150. They're all 150 apart from the German in lane 8. Everybody did a 150 this morning.
Yeah, Jay sounded really confident when he spoke to John earlier. He said that he was up for it. Obviously, shortest distance is done as well, so it might be a big ask, but at the same time, he's had a great week. He'll be he knows that he's swimming well, and this is his last race. And as he said earlier to John, he's just going to give it absolutely everything.
Is it cold in here?
Well, we saw Lizzie Simmons come out the other night looking like Michelin Man.
Nice big puffer jacket there for Rafael Miroslav. By the way, I just noticed that Tom Dean's a reserve for this. It's just, well, somebody didn't pull out because he'd have been brought into action. So anyway, Stephen Milne you saw from Perth City in 1. He can't be discounted. Cameron Curl likewise from Bath University. Paul Zellman of Germany. All, as you see, around about the 150 mark this morning. Here's Callum Jarvis.
I didn't think it was cold, but Callum,
Yeah,
Callum's room on there.
Quite. Here's Jay, heard from him earlier on, already with the 400 and 800 national titles to his name. Jakob Karl of Hamilton. That's the Hamilton Dubai team. Goes in 5. And our fastest qualifier, but only by 0.23 of a second, was Kyle Chisholm of Stockport, who does have the cans on. So here we go.
Wonder if he's listening to Craig David.
Well, obviously I can't ask him at this point because he's got other things to do, but maybe we get John to ask him later. Yeah, it's a big thing for James Guy. He's always championed Craig David. I don't know if he's got to meet him yet, but maybe we should arrange that.
Why, do you know Craig David?
I don't, but I know people who do. So, because James will be probably listening in now. Oh, can you do that? Can you do that?
It's all about who you know, Bob.
Yeah. So that's what this business is all about, apparently. So I'm not playing it properly. Open final of the 200 meters freestyle. And I could throw some dice in. I really wouldn't have a clue who's going to come up with this one. Stephen Milne, Paul Zellman, Jay Lediot, Carl Chisholm, Jakob Karl, Callum Jarvis, Cameron Curl. Probably not Rafael Miroslav, but who knows? He's the youngest in this field. In fact, the only one who was born after the year 2000. That'd be quite a cagey one, this. So they're all going to be looking at each other, thinking, right, okay, you're on a similar level to me in terms of time. Carl Chisholm's...
I fancy Jay for this.
Well, as I say, it's not his main event at all. In the red cap, we can distinguish him down below us. He probably won't be leading at 50, but he is in 4th place. Stephen Milne's got off to a good start. Of course, you can't discount him.
Jay's got fantastic turns, though.
Yeah, that I think is from his time at Bath, where they put an awful lot of store by turns down in Bath, and I think he's just carried that forward to his Sheffield programme.
They're all pretty much in a line, though.
They are, very much. Looking on the far side of the pool, I did discount Rafael Miroslav, but he's swimming very well for Germany and might well be in the mix at the second turn. It is Stephen Milne from Jay Lelliott, from Paul Zellman, and then we have 3 and 4th place. This could be the 50 that sorts them out.
Come on, Jay.
Jay is right up there, and so too is Stephen Milne. Looks like it potentially could be a battle between the 2 red caps here in lane 1 and 3, but don't discount Carl Chisholm in 4.
Starting to come through now. Oh, it's going to be so close.
It is Stephen Milne from Paul Zellman, from Jay Lelliott, from Rafael Miroslav and Carl Chisholm. And even at this stage, I'm not going to be able to call it, but I think possibly Stephen Milne, yeah. Look at the way the Perth City swimmer is going. We haven't been under 150 yet with any of our swimmers, and now Carl Chisholm is responding, and Jay Lediott's responding, and in lane number 7, Cameron Curl is responding as well. Cameron Curl might possibly get this, or maybe it's lane 1. Stephen Milne gets it. 1:49.13. Paul Zellman in 2nd. 3rd is Cameron Curl. Well done to Stephen, and Jay Lediott will pick up the 3rd place in terms of the Brits. So he gets 2 gold medals and a bronze this week, because he's finished 3rd of the Brits at the Nationals.
Not a bad week for him, and Stephen looked very over the moon with that swim, as he should do.
Yeah, 1:49.13. It won't be his fastest time ever, but in terms of his preparation, as he gets ready for things elsewhere in a few weeks' time, 1:49.13 will get the job done very nicely.
Sometimes it's a bit more about tactics, isn't it? I mean, none of these guys that are in their preparations for the Commonwealth Games are paying too much attention to the time, so he'll be really pleased with how tactically he raced that he didn't die off, and like I said, he had a great reaction there, so seemed over the moon with that swim.
Yeah, we'll hear from him on the medal podium a little bit later on. But yeah, decent week and a very good week for the Sheffield swimmer. as well. Jay Elliott picking up a bronze to add to the 400 and 800 titles he has already won. Women's 200 meters butterfly. Another record that has stuck around for a while. Ellen Gandy, who in those days was swimming for Great Britain, then decided to switch to Australia. And
we'll still claim her.
Yeah, we should. She had her best years here. She had her best years at Beckenham before she went to Australia and set that 2:04.83 when she was at Beckenham in 2009.
Suit era.
It was indeed. Women's 200 meters butterfly, the junior final up first. There are the swimmers involved in it. I'll name them for you. Megan Allison of City of Newport in 1, Rachel Anderson Millfield in 2, Macy Elliott 3 from City of Leicester, Gaia Alcaraz of Aberdeen Performance, Caitlin Hubbard, under that looking in, from City of Birmingham in lane 5. I haven't seen her here, so I think she's at home. Brigitte Gard of Kastrup is in 6, Krista Wilson of Newcastle in 7, and Megan Sheard of Stockport Metro. What I've not asked you yet is for the qualification time for the European Juniors.
It is a 2:13.53, and we have already seen Emily Lodge do that time this morning in the heats, who will be going in the A final.
Yeah, she'll be up a little bit later on, and
so would Kiana as well.
Yeah, so we could have two, and I was bemoaning the fact that our men's and our women's 200 meters butterfly at the moment is a little bit maybe under par on an international stage. Perhaps
Two people have already got the time back.
Perhaps they're the two to push it on for the next 5 to 10 years. We can but hope so. Lane 5, Caitlin Hubbard of City of Birmingham having a very, very good start here. And she will split at 29.79. The only swimmer to go sub-30 over the first 50. We know about the Hubbard dynasty. Have we got somebody who's going to push it on even further here? Looking good.
She's really taking this out.
2:18.34 she did this morning.
I always think tactically on the 200 metres butterfly is always, for me, it always seems a better way of swimming it is keeping that first 100 really, really controlled, so you're able to be able to come back strong. There's nothing worse than when you hit that wall and on butterfly there is just no saving you.
1:04.14 at the halfway stage. 2:15.60 is the personal best time for Caitlin Hubbard.
No one's really challenging her at the minute.
No, they're not. And, she's going to knock 3 seconds off her heat time, but nobody, as you say, is close, and nobody is closing in yet. Maybe Megan Sheard could be the one to do it, coming through a bit in lane 8, but still a big gap. Look, there's a huge gap with 50 to go. As long as Caitlin hasn't gone out too strong here. Caitlin Hubbard from Maisie Elliott, from Rachel Anderson, from Gaia Alcaraz. Well, they're going to have to do a lot to overtake her here.
They certainly are. She looks really strong.
She's see the marker for 25 meters, and it's not going to happen for anybody else. It's all going to happen for Caitlin Hubbard.
Oh, she's starting to struggle now.
Well, she is, but she's still got plenty. I know you can see she's going vertically and not forwards. That's always the problem on the butterfly. She's got enough. She has got enough. She's going to get to the wall first. That last 25 was absolute agony. 2:16.74. Caitlin Hubbard is the winner. Gaia Alcaraz in second place. Maisie Elliott in third. Well, she went out for that in a very brave fashion to Caitlin and nearly suffered over the last 25, but she had such a big distance between her and the rest. She held on.
She certainly did. Great swim by her.
So we've got 2 juniors in the B final and 3 in the open final, and they are all from Great Britain. And we'll see Maria Belmonte back, of course, very soon as well.
After her warm-up in the 1500.
After a warm-up and a warm-down. The final of the 200 butterfly. With,
then we've got the main man, Adam Peaty.
We have, yeah, who, by the way, I thought was really interesting. We're looking for the top 5 performers this week on FINA points to win the £1,000 if you're fastest or you've got the most points.
Okay.
He has got the most points, FINA points, from his swim this morning. Not last night, his heat swim this morning.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to better that tonight.
Yeah. And he already is the fastest in the world at the 50 and the 100 before he even swims tonight.
Who else was in that top 5, Bob? Do you know?
It was mentioned earlier. James Wilby was definitely in there. And I think Daniel Jervis was in there.
Oh, OK.
So I think Daniel Jervis and James Wilby were in that 5. That'll be confirmed later. They'll all get presentations later. But yeah, but I'm just amazed to hear that Adam's swim this morning, not his swim last night, has got him the highest of the two.
You tend to find that it is easier to get closer to those world records on 50 metres than it is the distance event. So not too surprising.
Sophie Freeman, Colchester. Jimena Perez back. She did the 1500, of course, as well. And she's returning for this. Isabel Grant, City of Sheffield. Isabel Spinley of Deepings. Rosie Rudin, City of Sheffield. Harriet Jones, City of Cardiff. Charlotte Robinson, second of the juniors. Sophie Freeman being the other from City of Leeds. She's 14, by the way, Charlotte. And Melanie Hall of City of Sheffield in lane number 8. The B final of the 200 metres butterfly for women. And again, a flyer. The flyer this time is Harriet Jones in lane number 6.
Well, not too surprising, seeing as Harriet won that 50 metres last night. So not too surprising that she's gone out for this, and she's the clear winner at 50.
Now, 150 to go yet, as we saw with Claire's daughter. It was tough. It was tough. Very tough indeed, but she got the job done in the end. Harriet Jones is trying to get the job done, but look who's coming back. In lane number 4 is Isabel Spinley of Deepings. She was the fastest qualifier from this morning, and we can see why she's now starting to turn it on a little bit in lane number 4. Is she going to overhaul Harriet Jones before we get to the wall? Pretty close to it. They're going to go in together, and Harriet Jones just holding on by 9/100ths of a second, but the momentum is all with the swimmer in lane number 4. Also coming back through, as you can see, in lane number 3 is Isabel Grant. So we're going to have 3 pretty much in a line at the moment. Isabel Grant, Isabel Spinley, and Harriet Jones.
She's really coming through here. Harriet, I'm not sure after winning that 50 metres if she's a bit probably more suited to the sprint event, but she's looking strong here.
Yeah, she's got a second or third wind. As the lanes 4 and 6 go to the wall pretty much the same time. 1:38.03 plays 1:38.13, and then Isabel Grant not too far back in third place. A cracking race this. Really, really good race.
It is. Isabel Spinley looks like she's just slightly sneaking ahead, but Harriet's really trying to hold on.
Isabel Spinley of Deepings and Harriet Jones, they will not yield at all, but somebody is going to have to unless they win it jointly.
I think Harriet's just overtaken. Oh, Isabel's tying up slightly there.
Harriet Jones already with the 50 to her name. She can add in the B final terms this one as well. 2:13.23 for Harriet Jones. That's considerably quicker than she went in the heats this morning, and a decent enough time. I think she'll be certainly very happy with the way she swam that. Thought she might have gone out a little bit too strong early on, but no, it all worked quite nicely, and not quite her best time. Her best time was 2:11.58, but again, good enough to get the B final one for her.
Harriet is going to the Commonwealth Games, so again for her, it's great preparation, great confidence.
You were having quite a chat as we look at the open final with Amy Wilmot earlier on. What did she tell you that you can divulge?
I think, yeah, Amy said we might see her struggling a little bit in lane 1. Amy's obviously in massively hard training at the minute, and she's one of those. I've been on many teams with Amy. She's moved up to Scotland from the London programme, changed coaches after being with Lisa Bates for most of her career. So wanted a slight change of pace, and I think she's got that. But she's looking in great shape, and obviously all eyes for Amy are on those Commonwealth Games rather than this meet. But for me, what's exciting about this final is the fact that we've got 3 juniors in there, and we have spoke about the fact that we need somebody to step into those Gemma Lowe and Ellen Gandy boots, and I think these three juniors are going to do that. I mean, we've already, out of the 3, 2 of these girls have got that qualifying time of 2:13.53 just from this morning, so we'll see if they can drop any more tonight.
Well, Emily Large, as I mentioned, I saw her at North East Counties last year, very much impressed me, both in Sunderland and in Sheffield. And there she is. with 2:12 this morning. She can and will, I'm sure, go considerably quicker than that. How's she looking after that 1500? Looking cool as the proverbial cucumber. Laura Stevens will go in lane 5 for Plymouth.
She's had a great meet, this one. She's looked fantastic.
Now, the only real threat to Maria Belmonte will be Alice Thomas.
I have to say, Alice last night in those skins, she might not have won the overall 50 metres, but she was fantastic in those skins events, doing 550s. She just kept the same pace each one. She went for absolutely flying each round and so solid. So if she swims anything like that tonight, you're just taking those 90-second gaps out.
Let's look at the times from the Australian trials. Laura Taylor at 2:06.80 and Emma McEwen at 2:08 dead from the last few days at the Gold Coast, because they're training. They had their championships at the same venue as will hold the Commonwealth Games.
That pool looks fantastic.
It does look fantastic. Yeah, it does. A few weeks away yet, and quite a few of the swimmers in this lineup will be getting ready for that. Amy Wilmot in 1, being one of them. Kiana McInnes of Harder Midlothian 2. Maria Belmonte, as she switches allegiance in the next 4 weeks, can't be swimming there for Spain. For Alice Thomas of Swansea Aquatics. Laura Stevens 5 of Plymouth Leander. Emily Large of Newcastle with that 2:13.53 on her mind. Yaris Lawson likewise for Leeds. They both could do it, you know. And Tane Bruce of Edinburgh University. And we are looking at lane 4. Alice Thomas really taking it out very strongly in lane number 4.
Well, it's Kiana and Emily that have both got the times already. So they'll be just wanting to better that qualification time. Obviously, Kiana and Emily are both going to the Commonwealth Games as well, so they've already got their kind of first senior competitions this year, so they'll be wanting to make that Europeans team in the summer as well as the European juniors. They're going to have a busy year.
Busy, busy year. Now, let's see the tactics of the Olympic champion, shall we, in the adjoining lane. What do you make of Maria as she comes up towards 100?
You kind of think, oh, she should be really tired from the 15, but I just don't put anything past her, and she will come through. But Alice is looking really strong here, as is Tane Bruce in lane 8.
Alice did set a 2:09.5 in Texas in Jan, but then she did a faster time this morning in the heats of 2:09.07. Do you know what? She might beat the Olympic champion. I think she is going to beat the Olympic champion here.
Well, to be fair to Belmonte, she has just done 1500. We'll give her a little bit of slack, but...
that's a big feather in her cap, though, however it comes.
Yes.
However it comes. Alice Thomas will take it, and she's got a massive mark. Now, Maria Belmonte has to pick up all that gap, and the gap between first and her at the moment is 3.6 seconds. That's a lot.
I think she's probably left herself a little bit too much to do, but obviously she has done that 1500. I mean, she's swum in so many events this week, and we've got to give credit to Alice Thomas where it's due, because she's having a fantastic performance.
And she's going for this, and do you know what? If she can get under 2:08, she'll be second in the Commonwealth going into the Games in a few weeks' time. She's going to get there, isn't she? She's going to be there or thereabouts. Come on, 2:08, you can do it. You've done it. Well done. 2:07.54, second best time in the Commonwealth this year. And remember, back in January, her best time was 2:09.5. So she's not 2 seconds from January to March. And she's not, I would imagine, fully rested for this.
No, not at all, but what a fantastic time. That is absolutely brilliant from her. Emily Large has bettered that time that she swam this morning as well, and obviously she had the time already, and she's just dropped that even more so, as has Kiana. And to be fair, Ciara's got it as well.
Yeah, she has.
Now, they can take up to 4, but only to the European juniors in each event. I think you can only have 2 in the final, can't you, at the European juniors?
Yeah. Wow, that was terrific. And that is a meet record as well. Amazing stuff from Alice Thomas. Yeah, the second best in the Commonwealth was Emma McEwen with a 2:08.
Fantastic.
So that puts her in prime position to challenge Laura Taylor with a 2:06.80. It was quick at the Aussie trials, but we'll see where she is in 4 to 5 weeks' time.
I think that's the only event, Bob, where we've had 3 juniors qualify.
Yeah.
And it's an event that we keep saying was poor.
Well, currently it is, but hopefully, if we look into our crystal ball and look 3-5 years down the line, Tokyo,
Possibly
for
two.
example.
I think in 2 years' time, Bob.
So Tokyo possibly. It'll be a very competitive event at the trials in 2020.
Agreed.
Which is terrific. Very excited by that. You can tell I was jumping up a chair. It takes a lot these days. Nurse is coming back to sort me out in a moment.
Katie Stark picking up her bronze medal there.
The silver medalist representing Edinburgh University, Lucy Hope.
There's Lucy Hope. Yeah, Lucy Hope.
This is the one that I feel really sorry for Ellie for, because even
Yeah.
though she was in that B final, she has posted the fastest time, but obviously the rules specify that she can't pick up that gold medal.
And here's our gold medalist. Freya Anderson went marginally slower than did Ellie Faulkner. 55.91 compared to 55.82, but it is Katie Stark in third, Lucy Hope in second, and Freya Anderson of Ellesmere College. And Freya will tell John Mason what she just did and how she did it.
Congratulations, Freya. An incredible race, just 0.04 of a second in it.
Yeah, really close. I know that I have to come back quite strong because I didn't go out too fast, so just had to put everything into the last 25, really.
And you really did. I mean, it was down to the wire, and congratulations once again. A really exciting time for junior swimmers in the UK. What's it feel like to be a part of that?
Yeah, definitely. We swam really well at World Juniors last year, and all the juniors winning here as well. It's really inspiring for everyone, so it's good.
It's really good. Look, congratulations once again, and good luck for such a big year. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Freya Anderson.
Well done, Freya. And you'll see Ellie Faulkner much better, I'm sure, in terms of preparation for the Commonwealth Games in just a few weeks' time. Presentation for the men's 200 metres freestyle. What a race that turned out to be as well. We had about 2 or 3 different leaders during the course of it. But in the end, it was Stephen Milne who finished in front with a 1:49.13. Cameron Curl second of the Brits, 1:49.97. And Jay Elliott, so used to being on the gold medal platform this week, will have to step down a peg or two down to the bronze, but it's not his main event or anything like it. So 1:50.27 for Jay Elliott. Silver for Cameron Curl of University of Bath, 1:49.97. And Stephen Milne standing by to receive his national title from Perth City. In the end, he won it by just over half a second from the German, and nearly 0.8 of a second over Cameron Curl. And he did it from lane 1 as well, did Stephen Milne, so good job for him. A national title in the 200 metres freestyle. Stephen Milne will now give us his thoughts on that.
Stephen, one of the most hotly contested medals of the weekend. How are you feeling after that?
Very happy, yeah. I don't usually react after the race, but I was very pleased after that, yeah.
I mean, it was really tight one. Everyone was behind you guys. What was your strategy heading into it?
My coach said just, go for it, and keep it, the skills good, obviously. So, yeah, I was quite happy with how it went.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations, mate. Massive year for you last year. 1 gold in Budapest. Another big year this year. How preparations go in for these big events?
Quite good. This was a good preparation meet, high-level one, in the juniors as well, they're swimming like mint. So, it's good to have the competition. And yeah, but I'm pleased with how the progress is going towards Gold Coast, yeah.
Well, look, fingers crossed, and congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Stephen Milne.
Yeah, our national champion at 200 free. No doubt James Guy's looking on, going, okay, I'll get that back next year.
Probably.
So, if you like, this is the main event of the afternoon. I've been deprecating and disparaging to the other swimmers, but the world stops when Adam Peaty swims.
Yeah, obviously we've got the junior final of the men and the women's, and then we go into the senior finals, as then after the senior finals takes place are the skins. And I think day 4, Bob, we did pretty well commentating on those skins last night.
Don't get too cocky now. Don't get too confident. I'm going to keep my powder dry on this one, because anything can happen, and if it's like the first night, it probably will.
I did look up though, Bob.
What skins means?
Yeah, well, why it's called skins, and I couldn't find absolutely anything. But traditionally, they are done from medley swimmers, and you draw the stroke out of a hat. So I don't know whether there's something in that. I'm just clutching at straws here.
Or maybe you draw straws. 50 breaststroke B final. Actually, junior final, isn't it? There is no B final. It says B final on your screen, but it's actually a junior final.
Correct.
Adam Metcalfe of Ellesmere, Callum Smart of City of Oxford, Oliver Taverner of Mount Kelly, Yuri Dijkstra of the Netherlands, Greg Butler of City of Derby, Lewis Fraser, Swansea, Callum Richards of Taunton Dean, and Jan van den Bosch of Luxembourg. I don't think we have a time for this because the juniors, there isn't a junior qualification time for this, is there?
No.
So we don't have to worry about that. Well, oh, is it just a little tremor on the blocks there from Adam Metcalfe. Hope he's okay in terms of not triggering the timing device. He'll have to swim his race as it is anyway. And lane number 4, the Dutch swimmer Yuri Dijkstra is at the front, but also being pushed very hard by Greg Butler in lane number 5 and Lewis Fraser in 6. And 4, 5 and 6 are all pretty much in the line. Who's going to get there first? I think the Dutchman's going to get there just before the 2 Brits. And he does, 28.64. There's a DQ actually on lane 7, not lane 1 here. I thought it might possibly be Adam Metcalfe in 1, but it is lane 7, Callum Richards, who gets the DQ off the start. And there it is, unfortunately. Greg Butler, 28.82.
Interesting, that final was actually slower than this morning's heat as well.
Yes, it was. I don't think that'll be the case when we get to the final proper.
Not with Adam Peaty.
No, it won't. So that was the junior final for the men's 50. Now the women's 50 meters breaststroke junior final. And in this we have just one overseas swimmer in lane 3 from Hamburg, and that's Malika Schneider. All the others are British. Now, can we get somebody under 32 here? Be nice, wouldn't it? Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire in 1. Rebecca Kleins of City of Leeds is in 2. 3, Malika Schneider, Hamburg. Tatiana Belonigov of Guildford in 4. Jemima Barkley of Monson, 5. And Harad Evans of Ellesmere, who's 14 years of age. Abigail Hurst of Millfield in 7, and also a 14-year-old Anna Lehman of Monson in lane 8. Coming soon, men's 50 meters breaststroke final. It's only Adam Peaty. It's next. Tell everybody in your street, turn the football off. Something more interesting coming on here. Everybody in place. Very tight it was this morning, all 32s apart from 2 of the swimmers. So this could be a very, well, sprints invariably are quite tight anyway. But with 32 seconds on the board, we might have 4 or 5 all going to the wall at roughly the same time. Schneider of Hamburg's had a good start, but we're not too interested from a British point of view in her. We are interested in Tatiana Belonigov of Guildford in lane 4, and in the swimmer in lane 8, Anna Lehman of Monson. And of course they can't see each other, they're separated by quite some way, but looks like Belonigov may have enough, or is Evans going to get in there? Evans is coming back strongly in 6, but Belonigov for the title, or certainly for the juniors. 31.66 for Tatiana.
Great swim.
Very controlled swim. Nice to see that from her.
And definitely quicker, unlike the men.
Yeah, strange that one, wasn't it? 32.06 was her best. 31.66 is now her best. So she's knocked about 4/10 of a second off there.
Bob, this will be our final time of explaining the skins.
Yeah, we'll need to do that because obviously we have lost the bottom 2, or will lose the bottom 2 in the women's when we get round to them. So the race itself will be a race as normal. And then whoever finishes 7th and 8th will not be participating in the first round of the skins. And the same will also apply to the women's. But before we get to that, we have a medal ceremony to perform. We won't be doing it, but somebody else will be. And probably better than, well, certainly I could do it.
But it was a great swim for Alice Thomas here.
Wasn't it just? I mean, she won that race by 2.5 seconds.
Easy.
2:07.54 to 2:10. And old Maria.
And she beat an Olympic champion.
Maria's already on the next Iberia flight back now. Emily Large in 3rd place for Newcastle. 2:11.06 for the Newcastle swimmer. Here's Laura Stevens of Plymouth Leander, who was the one who clocked a 2:10. And we will see one of the biggest margins of the weekend, something of this distance. Alice Thomas, say 2.5 seconds she won that by, and is now 2nd in the Commonwealth for 2018. Has got a really good world time with a 2:07.54, and I'm sure she'll wax loquaciously about that with John any moment now.
Congratulations, Alice. Amazing race. You absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, no, I was pretty surprised at that. Been using it as a bit of a training week, so yeah, glad to have got through it.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but as fastest time in the Commonwealth so far this year, does it give you a bit of confidence heading into the Gold Coast?
Yeah, definitely. It's got to give me confidence, considering I'm not rested, so hopefully there's more to come.
Oh, well, we hope so as well. Look, you absolutely killed it. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Alice Thomas.
Yeah, just to confirm for you, 2nd fastest in the Commonwealth this year. She beat the 2:08, which would have put a 2nd, and that's where she is going into the Gold Coast in a few weeks' time. Right. Are you ready? We're ready, and we know he's ready because he's always ready for this kind of event. Adam Peaty up against the clock. Well, which is not to downplay Ross Murdoch or James Wilby.
No, I mean, James Wilby had a fantastic performance this morning. So just to explain, the first race, if you like, is seen as technically the final. This one will determine who is British champion. I'm pretty sure we can give him the gold medal already, but it will determine obviously the 1, 2, 3 on the British title, and then they will have 5 rounds. So after the first round, two swimmers go, the slowest 2, then another 2, then 1 and 1 before you're left with 2 swimmers going head to head. They'll get 90 seconds in between each race. And they, just to clarify that, after the first one, they will not get a proper start. So that's why you might see some funny reactions, because they literally get a note saying that this is 10 seconds to go, and then they will just get a beep, so they have to react to it. But so it will alternate men and women. But the first one definitely counts as the final, and you cannot take it away from them, despite... I'm pretty sure Adam might win every round, to be honest.
Can we strike a medal for this woman who's managed to describe the skins perfectly 4 nights in a row, which I didn't think was humanly possible, but she has just achieved it. So congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, Bob.
4 nights in... Well, I've got to say, it had been me. I think we've been talking about the verbal version of hieroglyphics. I don't think anybody would have a clue what I was talking about. Not that they do anyway, but even less so.
I think all eyes are on what sort of time can Adam post. I'm pretty sure it might be a 26.
Well, his best time of the year so far, and he hasn't raced that much, came in Luxembourg at the meet I mentioned. 26.94 is what he did there.
I think I've got a feeling he might go faster than that tonight.
Best in the Commonwealth aside from Adam is James McKechnie, Australian trials 27.02. That was set in the past few days.
So you'll see the girls behind them as they are announcing the females, as they will go straight away after because of those skins events.
And I'll give you the quick run through on the men. Ewan Inglis, Chris Kerr, Ross Murdoch, Adam Peaty, James Wilby, Dara Green of Ireland, Mark Campbell of Aberdeen, Zach Aitchison. And the women, when they follow straight away afterwards, will be Cara Hanlon, Corrie Scott, Sarah Vasey. That's going to be a terrific final, that. Imogen Clark, Mona McSharry, Jessica Vowell, Chloe Tutton and Rosie Metz. That will be a much more difficult one to call.
Especially through those skins rounds as well.
And we have one more event after that as well, which will be the 400 meters individual medley for men. So we're not done with this. But there he is, getting ready, getting prepared, mentally attuned, just making sure the leggings are working okay. The bottom half, everything's fine. Having a little chat to himself as he invariably does. Adam Peaty, 50 meters breaststroke. Target time, well, to better what he's done this year, 26.94. Look at the reaction times as he fastest away. Yes, he is. Joint fasted with Zach Aitchison at 0.63 and into his stroke, and look at him go already. We know this race is won. Question is, what kind of time can he do? I tell you, going exceptionally well in the outside lane is Zach Aitchison of the University of Stirling, and is coming through massively quickly. But Adam Peaty, looking to go faster than he has done this year, is actually a tad slower.
Wow.
That is so unusual for Adam.
I am so shocked he actually swam slower than his heat time.
27.11, so not as quick, in fact, not as quick as we mentioned as James McKechnie went at the Australian trials.
Maybe he's done that because obviously he is partaking in the skins. Maybe he went for it this morning in that sense because he knows he's got 5 of them to do now, and he knew he was going to win that. But I am shocked. I thought he would have gone for that 26 point there.
Yeah, me too. Well, wasn't to be. And Ewan Inglis and Mark Campbell we lose for the skins. Lanes 1 and 7 will not be back for that competition, but of course Adam Peaty will be. Very surely, as will be James Wilby.
See what you did there, Bob.
On to the women's 50 breast. Cara Hanlon, Corey Scott, Sarah Vasey, Imogen Clark, Mona McSharry, Jessica Val of Spain, Chloe Tutton of Cardiff, and Rosie Metz. Now this is wide open in my view, and it will all be completed in around about 31 seconds time. Who's got into their stroke best? Lanes 4, Imogen Clark. Lane 3, Sarah Vasey trying to catch her, and obviously Mona McSharry in lane number 5 for Ireland. Now, is it going to be the Irish swimmer in 5 who's going to get the better of Imogen Clark, who is the British record holder at 30.21? I think the Irish woman might just get, oh, it's on the nod, it's on the bob, it's on Imogen for getting into the wall, yes. 30.70. Not bad at all, 30.70. She went 31.3 in Luxembourg in January, and that is the second fastest time in the Commonwealth. 30.6 from Leaston Pickett at the Australian trials, 30.77 for Jessica Hansen. So she is number 2 going into the Commonwealth Games.
Fantastic from Imogen there. Obviously, she is crowned British champion. She'll be very pleased with that swim. I'm not sure she'll be quite pleased backing it up with another 4 rounds, but...
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, now, what's Adam going to do? Remember he did a 27.11.
But they don't get a start this time.
They don't, it's
all
true.
All about reactions off that block.
Now, I'm not sure whether funny would be the right word. It'd be...
So they have 10 seconds now from that whistle.
Ironic if he did go quicker in the skins, wouldn't it?
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't either. Oh.
Good start from everyone.
Well, yeah, not bad. Ross Murdoch got away the best of them. And so Adam's treating this as a proper race, as you can see. He is going for this. James Wilby one side, Ross Murdoch on the other side, and far out of their range is Zach Aitchison, who had a very good swim last time round. Now he's going to head Adam Peaty. What kind of time will he clock this time? 27.66, so a little bit slower than he did in the final proper. And who are we going to lose? We are going to lose Zach Aitchison and Chris Kerr for the next round in lanes 2 and 8.
I start to wonder whether Adam's human. It's just incredible.
Yeah, 27.11 followed by 27.66. So we lose
90 seconds rest.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he's a machine. He is an absolute machine.
So we lost lanes 1 and 8 for the girls.
We did. We lost Cara Hanlon and Rosie Metz as we go into round 2. Corey Scott, Sarah Vasey, Imogen Clark, Mona McSharry, Jessica Val and Chloe Tutton all remain for round 2. Wait for the supermarket sweep bleep.
There it is.
Well, that's a whistle. Bleep will
10
come.
seconds.
Bleep will come next. Luckily, no Dale Winton. Oliver McSharry having a really good start for the Irish.
This is so hard to call.
It is incredible. Look at that. If you stopped it now, you probably have a dead heat between 6 of them, because they are absolutely together. As they get to 35, that angle tells me nothing at all. Until we go to the sideways on short, I have the foggiest idea who we're losing in this one. We'll now see, I think we're going to lose lane 4.
Imogen.
Imogen's gone.
As is Corey Scott.
Corey Scott, yeah. Corey Scott goes, and Imogen's had enough. So she's on her way. She's done the bit that she came here to do, and that's win the British title. So we'll have Sarah Vasey, Mona McSharry, Jessica Vall, and Chloe Tutton remaining for the women when we get to the next stage of the competition. Listen to this lineup for the men: Ross Murdoch, Adam Peaty, James Wilby, and the Irishman Dara Green.
Well, only one person goes this round, not 2.
So will it be the 3 Brits? Ross, as we know, better known as a 200 swimmer.
I said to Ross earlier when I was chatting to him, and I was like, "Are you excited for the skins?" And he just went, "They're going to be dirty."
Oh, dirty! Oh.
Because he knows they're going to hurt.
Oh, okay, yeah. It'll probably take about a week to recover from this for him. Adam Peaty, James Wilby, Dara Green, and nearest to us is Ross Murdoch, and still going for it. 27.11, followed by a 27.66 for the amazing Adam Peaty. It is incredible. Now, is he going to go even quicker in his second skins than he did in his first skin? I think he might, you know. I think he might. 27.66 he did last time round. 27, yeah, he did. 27.45. I thought so. That's remarkable because... And Ross...
We lose Ross.
Is gone. Bye-bye, Ross. Your razor awaits.
I can't believe that from Adam. It's just incredible.
27.11, 27.66, 27.45.
Who goes faster through the rounds?
The answer is Adam Peaty.
I think all of these times that he's posting would have come second and third in the actual British title race.
Yes, I think they would.
Is Adam posting the top 10 times in the, world right now?
Well, I wouldn't put it past him to go faster still, you know, but we'll see how he goes. Sarah Vasey, Mona McSharry, Jessica Vall, and Chloe Tutton. So 1 from Ireland, 1 from Spain, 1 from Wales, and 1 from England. In what will be the anti-penultimate round of the skins for the women, all swimming it slightly differently. Mona McSharry in the centre lane has been pretty consistent all the way through. Right on the shoulder is Jessica Vall. Chloe Tutton struggling just a little bit on that angle anyway, on the far side, but closest to us maybe Sarah Vasey's going to be the one to disappear, but I'm feeling that Chloe's maybe just easing up a bit. Yes, she is, and she's going to go in the next round. Chloe Tutton gone, Jessica Vall wins that one. Mona McSharry second and Sarah Vasey in third, so it's bye-bye and thank you for the week to Chloe Tutton.
Good luck at the Commonwealth Games, Chloe.
Indeed, for Wales. In just a few weeks' time.
She posted a fantastic 200 metres breaststroke this week, didn't she? That 2:25.
Yeah, excellent.
Fantastic.
There's a lot more to come.
Her.
Now, what's he doing? What's this? What's all this about? What's the hand movement all about?
Lactic acid. He's trying to get rid of it. He's like, leave my body. Please go.
Breathe heavily.
Well, not only do they only have 90 seconds, but they've also got to walk the whole length of the poolside as well.
That's right. Slap, slap,
he's
slap.
He's doing the nod. He's doing the nod.
Oh. Okay. Looks like he's going to produce some coffee beans out of that hand. 50 breast. Skins. We'll eliminate 1. Now,
Great
remember,
start again.
27.11, 27.66, 27.45. No doubt he's going to win this. Is he going to go quicker still in the skins? This is perverse if he does.
Seriously?
Absolutely perverse.
Why isn't Adam doing the 200 breast?
Well, I'd love to see him do it again, and I think he will at some point. This will be his equivalent of the 200 best as well. Come on then, 27 what? 27.73. Actually his slowest so far of the 4 swims.
How dare he? Well, we lose Dye green. So the Irish is gone, so it's
English
affair.
So it's Petey and Wilby, a well-known firm of solicitors, if I could only say the word, in the final of the 50 metres breaststroke.
I don't know who you mean.
Doesn't matter.
Sorry.
It's immaterial.
Sometimes I don't get your references, Bob.
Women's skins, round 4. We will lose one from here, which will be Sarah Vasey, Mona McSharry, and Jessica Ball. So only one Brit left in. Can Sarah Vasey of Loughborough, who is coached by Mel Marshall, get past the very consistent Mona McSharry in 5 and Jessica Val in lane 6. Remember, they don't go until the bleep. When you're ready, there you go. And their reaction times, yeah, a little bit slower than it normally would be, but not too bad in that respect. We have closest to us Sarah Vasey. We have Mona McSharry in the middle and Jessica Ball. And this might possibly be the end for Sarah Vasey looking at things, because Mona McSharry and Jessica Ball are looking particularly good with 15 to go. To go the wide shot, Sarah Vasey's got a lot to do to get back with the other two, and I think it might be too much for her. It will be too much for her as the Spaniard wins it. The Irish woman comes second, and Sarah Vasey is done for the day, and indeed done for this competition. She's the latest to be eliminated from the skins.
Again, good luck, Sarah, who is on that Commonwealth Games team, so safe flight over.
Adam Peaty against James Wilby. Remember, money at stake for the winner.
I think they'll both be grateful this is the last round.
A cool £100. Now, I think already Adam has secured the top swim of the week from his 50 breaststroke this morning, so there will be another big check coming, and he acknowledges the crowd as he gets ready.
Oh, the hands going again.
There.
Oh, yeah.
Hands going on both sides. I thought he was going to do something else then, but no, it's ready to go. Just make sure everything's flexed and ready and prepared for the last round of the skins for the men. Do I need to tell you Adam Peaty is close to the camera? Of course I don't. And James Wilby, and I think we'll already assume that this is going to be Adam Peaty's win. Just intrigued to know what kind of time. They're all going to be under 28 seconds by the looks of things. 27.11, 27.66, 27.45, 27.72. Go on, get under 28 and make it a clean sweep. Oh, no. Oh, Adam Peaty, you let me down. 28.15. He didn't manage to do a succession under 28, but nonetheless, he wins the skins, as indeed he won the British title a few minutes ago.
That is seriously impressive. I think we need to give credit there. To do that is just absolutely incredible.
And how cream-crackered is he now?
I can't believe that. There were some world-class times that he was posting as part of the skins. And to be
he kissed the lane rope then?
Did he?
Yeah.
How?
Never seen him do that before.
Thank you, lane rope. Bye, lane rope.
So, yeah, bye.
Bye, lane rope.
We'll meet again sometime. Women's skins final then. It's an all-international affair. Jessica Val of Spain will move into lane 4, where Imogen Clark was. Mona McSharry will stay precisely where she was, in lane number 5.
They both did that, actually. James and Adam stayed in the same lane as well. Didn't have to move.
So, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Ireland, the winner, or is it going to be Spain, the winner? So, Mona McSharry on the far side, Jessica Val of Spain closest to us. This could be a very, very hotly contested last round of the skins. Ireland against Spain. Ireland winning at the moment. Jessica coming back. There's not going to be much to choose between these two when they get to the end. What happens if it's a dead heat? Do they go again?
Swim off, swim.
It's very, very tight. They're going to come in together. I think just going to be Jessica Val. Got enough. 32.34, and Mona McSharry about half a second behind in the end. So it is the Spaniard. It's been a good day for the Spaniards. Maria Belmonte winning the opening event, and the last event in terms of the skins for females being won by Jessica Val.
Well, she's still smiling.
She wants to do it again.
Do another one.
Can I do it again,
one.
please, sir? I don't think the Mona McSharry does, though.
No.
I think she's had quite enough. Terrific stuff. Right, that's the skins dump.
Well, one more event left.
Yeah.
The men's 400 medley. And shock. Was it quite a shock? No Dan Wallace.
Yeah, very much a shock, I think. And also, we've got a redraw on this. So our list is not correct for the junior race. So we'll have to see what they put up, because unfortunately, though he'd love to be, Joe Litchfield is not a junior anymore.
I did look at that.
And has been entered into the junior race. So I'll wait until we get the confirmed lineup, because I haven't got it in front of me at the moment.
Well, it's Joel Thompson, isn't it? That has just replaced Joe Litchfield.
Okay, thank you for that, which I didn't have.
So Joel Thompson goes in lane 4, not Joe Litchfield.
No, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Because saying when I initially saw, I thought, well, Joe hasn't qualified for anything today, has he? And then suddenly he looked down and he was in the junior final. But
well, we have got a number of juniors going in that A final, but the qualifying time they need for the European juniors is a 4:25.88. That's a 4:25.88, and we have got 5 juniors. Oh no, one's not British, so we've got 4 juniors going in that A final that could get that time.
Everything else on my list is correct, apart from Joel Thompson, who will be going in lane number 4. Jonathan Milner to the lead in 1. Alfie Kelly, Newcastle 2. Ben Harrison in 3 from Mount Kenny. I mentioned already Joel Thompson. Fraser Allison of Warrender 5. Adam Wilson of Newcastle 6. 7 is Oliver O'Halloran of Derwent side. And lane 8 is Archie Plowman. I wonder what he has for lunch from Northampton.
What he has for lunch? Why? I don't get the reference again, Bob.
Archie Plowman?
Oh my God. Oh gosh. You can tell it's day 4, can't you?
We got to that stage, we're getting D-Mob happy, aren't we?
Oh gosh, dad jokes are coming out.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I think granddad jokes in my case, don't you?
Great granddad.
Thank you. Lane 4, Joel Thompson, who wasn't on the original sheet, is right in the mix here. In fact, he'll be second at the turn behind Jonathan Milner. If I remember rightly from this morning, Jonathan Milner had a great start and a great finish to his race. He was great on the butterfly and great on the freestyle at the end.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their favoured strokes, don't they? But as we've said, it kind of, a lot of the race is determined. I think we've spoken about it a bit too much this week, but the race tends to be determined on those breaststroke and freestyle legs, of course.
As we come back to our wide shot, we can tell you that there are 3 going to the wall pretty much together. Jonathan Milner, followed by Alfie Kelly, followed by Joel Thompson. There's Adam Wilson of Newcastle. Now, Adam Wilson, as memory serves, has a very good breaststroke coming up pretty soon. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much in a line as they go onto the backstroke leg. So it's Jonathan Milner, Alfie Kelly, then Joel Thompson. And then in lane 6, having a very, very good backstroke leg, is Adam Wilson. In fact, he might be leading at this next 50. He's come through that quickly.
Certainly has.
Yeah,
it's always an interesting one, the 400 medley, because they are so spread out until that last length where they all group together. I mean, there's not much separating them. 4 or 5 seconds on their entry times.
Yeah, not a great deal at all. Now there are 3 at the front of the field, as we've seen Jonathan Milner slightly die off in the middle of the race, but we know he comes strong at the end, so if he's in contention, he will be amongst the front runners. But 3 in 2, 4 and 6 at the moment are pretty much in a line. Alfie Kelly, Joel Thompson and Adam Wilson. And next time it'll be the all-important breaststroke leg. Here it comes.
Well, I'm expecting Fraser. Either he's not feeling too flash tonight, or he's going to come through on this breaststroke, because he's in the middle lane, which means if he swam a fast heat this morning, so see what he can do.
Well, all 3 of them are pretty much locked together, and then look, you'll see Jonathan Milner coming back into the mix, and also in lane number 3, Ben Harrison, and they are getting closer to each other. 4 in a line now, with possibilities of maybe 5 when they come off the wall. Who's going to get there first? It will be lane number 4 and Joel Thompson.
Well, Ben Harris has come right into mix there in lane 3. He wants to join the party.
Adam Wilson, followed by Alfie Kelly, followed by Ben Harrison, followed by Jonathan Milner. And Jonathan Milner's not out of it at all. And this is intriguing stuff, because next time round it'll be the fight to the finish. 100 freestyle to come. Lane number 4, though, Joel Thompson is in the right position. He is top of the pile at the moment.
Well, Ben Harrison has got to have had the fastest breaststroke split here. Oh, Fraser's coming back in lane 5. I thought he might have been a goner.
Yeah, Adam Wilson in lane 6 as well. And now coming back into the mix is Jonathan Milner. Now look at that. 1, 2, 3 separated by less than 0.2 of a second.
Well, this will be absolutely incredible if Ben Harrison in lane 3 comes back to win this.
Well, he could, and it's a massive ask for him now. But the centre lanes, 3 and 4, are definitely at the front of the field. Ben Harrison, Joel Thompson, Jonathan Milner trying to come back. Look who's coming back in lane 6 again, is Adam Wilson. What a race this is. 3 of them going to the wall together. Nothing to choose between them. Only 3/4 of a second between 1, 2 and 3. It is so tight. Think you've got to hand it to 3, or have you? Yes. Jonathan Milner has other ideas, but it looks like Ben Harrison and Mount Kelly will be going for this and trying to be caught by Adam Wilson. But I think Adam Wilson's going to have to give a second best on this occasion, because Ben Harrison, what a great middle part of the race for the swimmer from Mount Kelly. It's going to come in a 4:32.72. Amazing stuff from Ben Harrison. Jonathan Milner gets second place. Adam Wilson in third. That was an intriguing race right through to the end. And junior Ben Harrison gets a 4:32. It's not the 4:25. They'll give an automatic qualification for the European Juniors. But if I was Tim Jones watching that, I'd say that's a plucky display. He's on the team.
Well, yeah, he dropped 4 seconds from this morning's heats, and they were right at the end of those heats, so they've not had long to prepare at all. Not a big, massive recovery, but a fantastic swim from him. I'm sure you're going to tell me what his entry time was, or his PB maybe, Bob?
Well, his PB is 4:33.83.
So a personal best for him.
Yeah. Improvement on that. And he'll be massively pleased. There's no DQs that I'm hearing of, so all 8 will get a time. And he gets the best of the lot. We will hear from him a little later on. He'll tell us how he did it, because I don't think I mentioned him till about the 3rd leg of that race.
Well, I think now it is Adam's presentation, is it not?
Well, we'll wait for confirmation of the result, which we haven't had. Have we had that yet?
Yes.
Fully? Okay.
Yes.
I didn't see it on my screen. I've just been looking at other things. Men's 50 metres breaststroke. And just to go over it again, Adam Peaty actually slower. I can't remember the last time he did that. I can't remember he's ever done that.
I wonder whether he just knew the skins were coming up. He posted a good time this morning, whether he thought to himself, I'm quite happy with that. I need to save a tiny little smidgen of something in for those 550 skins.
Yeah, 27.07 this morning, 27.11 it was in the final. They proceeded to reel off a 27.66, 27.45, 27.72, and they blotted his copybook for me with a 28.15. Slow coach.
They do look like they're hurting. A little bit.
Not the least bit surprised. Surprise 3rd place there, I reckon. Thought Ross Murdoch might be there, but he isn't. It's Zach Aitchison of the same team, teammate, and there must be a little fillip for Zach to beat Ross Murdoch in an event like this. It was tight. It was only 15 100ths, sorry, 5 100ths between them, but he gets 3rd place. 2nd place, James Wilby. The 20, and in fact, he went slower. He went slower from heat to final as well.
Something in the water, Bob.
And you know what? Dara Green did as well of Ireland. The top 3 all went slower than they did in the heats. Well, let's hear what Adam Peaty has to say about the 50 and indeed the skins.
Congratulations, Adam. Great way to finish the weekend.
Yeah, it's obviously great to get out there and race, but now it's time to get back into the Commonwealth game mode, and yeah, it's good to put on a show tonight.
I mean, this was the last weekend of racing before you head out there, so it's got to put you in good stead, right?
Yeah, great. It's great to obviously be against Wilby. He's a Loughborough boy as well, so it's I'm very excited to get on the holding camp and get a bit of sun on my back.
And then you had the skins event, testing your endurance a bit. Was it fun?
Yeah, until the last 25 metres, and I just shut down. I was getting lower and lower in the water. So yeah, but no, it's good.
It looked like a lot of fun out there. You'll be aching tomorrow. Now, you've been on these stages, massive international stages. You've got such a cool game face. I want to know, what does your coach Mel say to you before you head out to a race? Last thing.
I don't know. I don't know how it's appropriate for the rest of the crowd, but she said something that gets me in my game mode, and she says one or two things. When it was Olympics and Worlds, I expect this kind of big speech, which is like, go and get it. And because we do so much in training, we're kind of used to the environment, and we know what to expect, and we know what to expect in the rest of the world. So by the time I even get to the World Championships or say in the Olympics, I'm already ready to race.
It's good to see. Look, congratulations once again, and good luck in the Commonwealth Games. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Peaty.
And the man with the best swim of the week. We'll get the clarified FINA points for you, but there is £1,000 up for grabs. And you can put that towards a new sofa.
Why does he need one? Don't get it again. Am I missing something here, Bob?
Is he not sponsored by a sofa manufacturer?
Dear. Well, why does he need a new one then?
400 metres individual medley. Presentation coming up next.
No, we've got the final, Bob.
Oh, sorry, I'm miles away.
That was the junior final, so now this is the open final.
Yeah, sorry. Why do we have that in between then? Sorry, that threw me.
I think it's because then at the end we have got the top performances in there. So
No, sorry, that did throw me there. I'm thinking...
It's the last day, Bob.
I thought we were
Fine.
done. I just packed everything away.
No, we've got to see Tom Dean again, obviously putting in that fantastic performance earlier on. So be interesting to see. Obviously he's had probably 45 minutes rest in between.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's give you the lineup then. Nathan Hughes of Hatfield in 1, Thomas Payne of City of Manchester Aquatics in 2, Jacob Greenoff of Bath University in 3. I am intrigued to see what Tom Dean can do. Well, of course, we were talking about that 4:25.88, which is the automatic qualification time for the European juniors.
Well, he's already on the team, so I'm sure they'll let him swim it anyway.
I'm sure they will, but it'd be nice to see whether he can hit that mark or not. And Will Bell, City of Leicester, will go in 5 again with the same aim. Good to get him on the team as well. And Charlie Hutchison, we've got a lot of juniors in this. In fact, we've got more juniors than we have seniors. That's Tom Dean, 4:27 qualification time, so he doesn't have to go much faster to get the qualifying standard.
Well, Nathan Hughes, that's in lane 1, has completely baffled me this week. He did the 1500, the 200 breast, the IM. I've never known anyone be able to do that.
No. There you go. That's your 1 to 8 in the open final for the men's 400 metres individual medley. Great swim by Ben Harrison in the previous one. Now, Tom Dean. Can you do something that will really surprise us? Last race of the 4-day meet in Edinburgh. British Championships and the Edinburgh International is the final of the 400 metres individual medley. Staring into the distance, like a load of statues there for a moment.
Have we got no lane 7?
No, we have not.
No Brodie Williams.
No, so give it up.
Shame.
Give it up for Brodie Williams.
Brodie's had a great week, but maybe he just needed to get home. Maybe it was to do with travel.
Yeah, it could be that. Definitely could be that. Butterfly leg first of this open final. And we'll see who gets the wall first. Actually, in the overall scheme of things, means a great deal, but shows us who's doing well on the butterfly. And Tom Dean is doing well on the butterfly. Jacob Greenoff of Bath in 2nd place. And 3rd is Charlie Hutchison.
Tom Dean must be hurting a little bit. I mean, he did a big PB in that 200 metres freestyle, and he's had a fantastic week, but can't quite remember how his breaststroke was. I think he had a very good breaststroke.
4:19.55 is his personal best, by the way. And it's 4:19. So that's well inside the junior qualification time.
Yeah.
Is he going to be anywhere near that kind of shape today? We wonder. We'll find out in due course. Thomas Payne in 2. 3 is Jacob Greenoff. 4 is Tom Dean. And on the far side in lane number 6 is Charlie Hutchison. So 4 of them on the backstroke in a line as they come towards completion of the 50 in this one. And look at them all coming into the wall pretty much together. Charlie Hutchison getting in there just before Jacob Greenoff, and then Tom Dean in 3rd place, Thomas Payne in 4th. Now they're all going to go to the end of the backstroke leg pretty much together, those 4, I think. There might be about a couple of body lengths between them before they go from the back to the breast. And at this stage, although there's a little bit of a gap opening up, I wouldn't want to call it the halfway stage, although the strongest swimmer at the moment is our swimmer in lane 6, Charlie Hutchison. Turns a 2:06.22, so he's got about a 1.5 seconds advantage as they go onto the breaststroke leg.
We do, but we know the breaststroke sorts them right out, Bob, of course. I'm surprised
You
Will
wanted
Bell
to get that out one last time, didn't you?
Oh, always. I'm surprised Will Bell's that far back, but we know he's got a good breaststroke and front crawl, but I'd expected him to be more in the mix. But here comes Tom Dean. He didn't want to give him too much lead, I don't think, but Charlie's definitely holding on.
Charlie Hutchison still at the front of the field. He's got a 4:25.
What's really nice to see is all his teammates have stood up out their seats, all doing the cheering that you hear in the background for Tom. He's just slightly overtaken Charlie there.
The Maidenhead posse are making some noise, and making noise for a very good reason. Here comes their man. What a breaststroke that was. Now, don't tell me the breaststroke doesn't make a difference when you see what he's just done on that 100.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. And we know he's got a good front crawl, obviously after that 200 metres earlier on. So I doubt anyone's going to overtake him now, as he's made up a considerable lead there.
So is it going to be Tom Dean against the clock? It's looking very much like that. Charlie Hutchison in 2nd place, 3rd at the turn, Jacob Greenoff, and bring it home to glory. Another title for the 17-year-old from Maidenhead. They're going to go wild in the stands in a few moments' time. He has been 4:19, as I mentioned. He just needs 4:25, and he's going to obliterate 4:25.
Yeah, he's going to smash that 4:25, and obviously he is already on that team, so he's going to have a busy European Juniors.
Which is good. A star of the future right before your very eyes here, and great to see a club like Maidenhead produce somebody as good as this.
Yeah, absolutely incredible swim here. I mean, he's just blown the rest of the field away. This is an open final as well. This isn't a junior final, and absolutely incredible, taking that British title last night and now British title again in this 400 metres. So well done, Thomas Payne.
What kind of time can he do? Can he get near? Well, do you know what? 4:18.90, I believe, puts him in the top 6 in the world for 2018.
Wow, absolutely incredible swim from him there. It's a shame he's not in the Commonwealth Games team.
4:18.90. Just looking around times that have been set elsewhere. Yeah, I think he's... Mitch Larkin did a 4:15, by the way, at Australia's trials, but I've got it written down here that if we get anybody in the 4:18 range, it's top 6 in the world for 2018. Nobody, I'm sure, outside of these shores will have heard of Tom Dean. They have now.
No, obviously we've still got to see the Americans and other countries race yet. We're only in March, but at the same time, what a fantastic swim from him.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the gap. He actually won that by over 4.5 seconds in the end. That is a remarkable swim. If that's not one of the swims of the week, I don't know what is. And the last swim of the week as well.
What a great last race that was.
It was quite amazing.
Now we have got the presentations and obviously the top performers presentation as well.
Yes, I hope that Adam hasn't gone too far away, because you know who'll be coming back for that. We've got the women's 50 breaststroke, and of course we've got the IM presentation as well. The lights dim, and we look down to see who got what, because it seems a little while ago now. Imogen Clark with a 2nd best time in the Commonwealth, only 0.1 behind Leaston Pickett, which she did at the trials in Australia.
She'll be very, very pleased with that. I mean, it will give her just that extra bit of confidence she probably needed at 5 weeks out.
30.70. Mona McSharry of Ireland obviously not on the platform there. She's a 30.87. So Sarah Vasey will be the silver medal recipient, and Corrie Scott of Edinburgh University with the bronze, and here she is with a 31.44. And well, it's good to see the breaststroke right the way through. Sprint breaststroke, the 100 breaststroke, the 200 breaststroke. There's a lot of talent in there now in the female ranks.
Yeah, so much depth, so much to look forward to moving forward. Not just for the Commonwealth Games, for the European Juniors, for the Europeans in the summer, back here in Scotland.
In Glasgow, just up the road. Should be, so like that's the MPD. I haven't seen this week. There he is.
Let's hope we don't have a freak snowstorm in the summer in Glasgow.
Yeah, well, you hope not in August, wouldn't you? Let's be absolutely honest. But terrific stuff, Imogen Clark. Take a bow, and they'll be mighty proud of her at Loughborough University. 30.70, nearly 900 FINA points, means a lot. And I say the second fastest time in the Commonwealth. Let's see what she has to say about that.
Congratulations, Imogen. Fantastic way to finish off your weekend.
Thank you, yeah, I'm happy with that. And it finished on a high, so yeah.
What a way to end it. I mean, you're a 50 specialist. Was it nice to just get in the pool and throw down with these girls?
Oh, it's always good. I love 50. I just switch off and just get to the other end. It's just great fun, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Now your weekend's done. How are you going to celebrate?
Well, I'm going to try and fly home tomorrow, so that's how I'll be spending it.
Fingers crossed, you might be stuck in Edinburgh. Look, congratulations once again, British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Imogen Clark!
Make it sound like Sir Pennant's been stuck in Edinburgh there, John. Don't think it's that bad. We've enjoyed our time up here, haven't we?
We certainly have.
As we have one more presentation as far as the races are concerned, then we'll find out who's going to be collecting the accolades for the top 5 swims of the week. In fact, I have the sheet in front of me. Shall I divulge?
Please do,
Do you want
Bob.
me to divulge? Okay, or shall I leave it for now?
No. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Wait until after the men's.
We'll wait.
Because let's give Tom Dean the full appreciation, shall we? Or is he amongst them?
2 women, 3 men.
Okay.
I wonder if that was actually done before this race, actually. It's a very good point. But, yeah, I think I've got the updated version beside me, and I'll get onto that after we've seen this presentation. I'm absolutely astonished by that swim.
What a great
by
swim.
Tom Dean. As I mentioned, that will actually put him in the, I think, either on the cusp of or in the top 6 in the world for 2018. This man set the pace. Charlie Hutchison early on was leading early in the race, but
still out of breath, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, he did try and go for broke and probably just ran out of steam. But here's a star. Capture this face. 17 years of age from Maidenhead. You will be, providing he wants to carry on his career, of course, hearing a lot about Tom Dean. New personal best and an absolute blitzing of the time in the 400 metres individual medley. And he'll have a chat with John now.
Tom, congratulations. 200 the other night and 400 tonight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. It's a great way to wrap up the whole competition. Really happy.
I mean, you've been absolutely smashing it all weekend. You broke the junior records, British record the other day. What are you focusing on to keep such consistency?
Well, I'm just training back at Maidenhead with my coach. We're working hard, taking it a day at a time and just kind of focusing. This is a really important meet for us this year. So, yeah, just getting the hard work in every day.
I mean, we're closing up the weekend now, but what are the long-term goals now for 2018?
I've hopefully got European Juniors coming up in July, so that's the next big one. And then just working on the progression into senior swimming, I think that's really important.
Very exciting stuff ahead, I'm sure. Look, congratulations once again. You absolutely smashed it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tom Dean!
Yeah, we talk about swims of the week, and maybe we'll talk about that before we close in a few moments' time, but that's right up there for me over 4 days of competition because that was so unexpected. I mean, it wasn't unexpected he would win it, but in the style in which he won it.
Yeah, fantastic week for him. Been British champion twice. Not a bad week.
No, not a bad week at all. Now remember, the awards we are about to see are based on FINA ranking points. Can we just do a quick explanation for those who don't know what that means?
No, it's just, well, the points are generated off the world record and how close they are to that. It is slightly, I would say, easier to get higher FINA points over the sprint events because obviously the time difference there. But
it relates to where your time is in relation to the world record. Is that correct?
yeah, oh,
Right.
that's how I think. Yeah.
So obviously, the closer you get to the world record, the more FINA ranking points you would get.
Yes.
So if you broke it, you get 1,000. I think it's 1,000 and a bit.
Okay, well, tell us, Bob.
Right, so the 5, we'll take them piece by piece because they're going to get done, I think, in reverse order here. One of the recipients is not with us.
Okay.
Sadly.
And who is that?
That is very sneaky. Nearly
Well, you've got to tell us at some point, please,
well, no,
Bob.
but they're going to come out and we'll take them one by one.
Yeah, but they're not going to come out if they're not here.
5 will be Imogen Clark for her swim in the 50 metres breaststroke, which gets her 885 points. Here's the big surprise, although, because we've mentioned her so often during the course of the week, it's not really a big surprise. 4th, Lucy Hope with 885 points as well. For her 50 metres backstroke, which she did 28.18.
Great.
3rd place is James Wilby for his 200 breaststroke 2:12.02, which gives him 890 points. And I think I'll just get the last 2 out before we see them. The person who is not here is Daniel Jervis.
Ah.
That was obviously day 1 for him.
Yes.
15:01 for the first final.
Yes.
15:01.87
Oh,
with
look at
900
those
points.
checks.
And I will give you not even one guess as to who the recipient of the main check will be, with 929 points from his heat swim this morning in the 50 breaststroke.
Well, there's 5 people there.
Adam Baker is replacing Daniel Jervis.
Oh, okay.
So the part of Daniel Jervis will be played by Adam Baker.
Okay.
He's the stand-in. He's the locum. Now, everybody else is obviously dressed. Now, Adam's just come out of the pool. Everybody else has managed to get their attire. Right, we've got a joint 4th. Joint 4th, okay. I don't know what I thought, because they got exactly the same points. So I'm quite sure how they sorted out Lucy Hope and Imogen Clark.
£500, not a bad weekend.
Yeah, pretty decent. And of course, they get money for winning their individual races as well, don't they? So,
Quids in.
not bad at all. Not quite sure when you take it to the bank what they do with that exactly, but you can't actually get it under the grill, can you? Yeah. Lucy Hope and Imogen Clark. And there is James Wilby with his money for 3rd. And what's he got? 750 for that. Nice work and a good week for James. As I mentioned, there is no Daniel Jervis.
So what does he get? £750.
750. Adam Baker will be the stand-in for Dan Jervis with his 900 points. Nearly breaking the 15 the other day. As you can tell, that's not he. And that will be £900.
Wow.
So Adam ready to receive his 4-figure check.
That'll be 2 pairs of shoes for Adam.
Oh, has he got some expensive taste in shoes?
Very expensive taste in footwear.
Better than my loafers.
I think so, Bob.
Okay. 929 points for Adam Peaty. And, well, they look very happy as well. They should be, apart from Adam, we say, oh, well, that was my check and not Dan's check, but everybody else done. So I think we are just about done. Just maybe a very quick wrap with me and you about the week as a whole. Where are we going forward in terms of British swimming for 2018? Do you feel confident? Do you feel that we are on the up?
100%, especially after seeing some of the junior finals, with the European juniors happening in July in Finland, and then the Europeans obviously in Glasgow, like we've mentioned. But for myself, I'm just so impressed with the amount of juniors that we've got coming through, especially the boys. The boys are on absolute fine form. We just sometimes need a little kick for the girls, but I think we've had a solid weekend of racing.
And you'll be able to see our best para swimmers at the international meet in Sheffield between the 31st of May and the 3rd of June on the British Swimming YouTube channel. Thank you, Rebecca Adlington, for being brilliant.
Thank you, Bob.
Quite frankly, brilliant for 4 days.
We've had a great time.
I look forward to working with you again and with all the team. Thank you for the last 4 days in Edinburgh, and keep tuned in to the British Swimming YouTube site. And of course, we'll be back with more swimming on the BBC during the course of the year. From all the team in Edinburgh, it's a very good night. Good night.